With DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Stay informed with The Rundown, the daily newsletter from High School OT that delivers the most important high school sports news and insights straight to your inbox. Brought to you by High School OT and powered by our sponsor, First Carolina Bank. Subscribe to The Rundown at highschoolot.com.
Football season is back, and let's be honest, your living room doesn't have award-winning wings, a massive beer selection, and over 50 TVs. Carolina Ale House does. We've got homemade favorites and so many screens you can watch every game at once. Bring your crew, bring your appetite, and get loud with us. Don't fumble your game day plans. Come watch the game at Carolina Ale House, where great sports deserves great food. Hell yeah!
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. We've got you covered with outdoor power equipment from Cobalt and everything you need to weatherproof your deck with Trex decking. Plus, with lawn care from Scott's and, of course, Pit Boss grills and accessories, you can get a home field advantage all season long. So get to Lowe's, get it done, and earn your Sunday. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Our below normal temperatures continue both overnight and in the afternoons. This afternoon looking at mid-70s under variably cloudy skies. It's a little breezy out there for us. Temperatures in the upper 50s tonight under mostly cloudy skies, and tomorrow partly cloudy with highs in the mid-70s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 196 points to 45,711.
He brings it down, gives to Smothers, sees Park, 10-yard line, sprints in, touchdown.
Looking at Castle's direction, looking back over the middle, back of the end zone for Anthony. Did he get a foot down? Touchdown!
Deep drop.
There we go.
Deep throw.
Touchdown.
Left side. Touchdown, Carolina. Chris Culliver brings it in.
Young in the pocket, steps up, has room to run. He's got the 40, 45, stumbling, or 35 stumbling. Ball came out at the end. Jacksonville recovered the fumble. Man, it's been a tough first half for Bryce Young.
Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Tuesday. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. I've got some big news. I'm gonna make you wait for it, though. Make you earn it. Make the anticipation build. Not for a long time, though. 3:30, we have some big news to pass along. Big announcement at 3:30 right here on 99.9 The Fan. So I'm kind of doing like the fourth grade thing, like I've got a secret and I'm not telling. Why'd you tell me you got a secret then?
I know something you don't know.
Exactly. I'm kind of doing that, but I'm also giving you a light at the end of the tunnel. 3:30 right here on The Drive. Big announcement. I am exceptionally excited to pass it along to you. And just to eliminate some of your curiosity, it has nothing to do with the Sin City Skateaway. We do have a key word coming up. We'll do that in about 15 minutes for the Sin City Skateaway, win a trip to Vegas, all those sorts of things. That has not much to do with the big announcement, okay? They are unrelated. All right, everybody. With that being said, now that I've baited the hook, let's jump to the big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
It is Tuesday. The Panthers lost on Sunday. You should not have used the last 48 hours to stretch your brain and do mental gymnastics to make it better. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just sit in it. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't. We've done that too many times. We've done that with the Panthers too many times. Where you bend, you stretch, you put yourself in a weird mental yoga position in order to say, that really bad loss week 1 to a team that probably won't be a Super Bowl contender, it actually wasn't that bad because if you look at the underlying advanced analytics, the passing grade for Bryce Young was actually quite good. If you eliminate the 71-yard run from Travis Etienne, then the run defense looks a lot better. Listen, and I've been on a crusade fighting the fight. And I don't even want to say against analytics the last 48 hours because I'm not fighting against analytics. I'm fighting for common sense. I think there's a place in sports for analytics. I think there's a space in football for analytics, for the PFF grades, for the estimated points added per play, for the DVOAs, for all of the stats that are acronyms that we don't know. I think there's a place for it. I think if you watch a football game and at no point in time does one team look better than the other and the scoreboard reciprocates it, if the analytics tell you a different story, that's just one where the analytics get it wrong. It happens. It happens. Bryce Young was not a top half of the league passer in week 1. And part of that is because you have to understand what a quarterback is designed to do, what a quarterback is asked to do. And the sliding scale of grading, meaning third down, must-have-it situation, that should count 8 times as much as a first down, first quarter. A turnover should negate 100 good plays. Like it is that kind of a sliding scale. So if it's like, most of the time he did pretty well. No. There is no most of the time. Not at that position. And that's why you play that position, by the way. You play quarterback because you like that pressure. If you don't want pressure on you, play wide receiver. Right? Wide receiver. The best get, 10 chances to have the ball all game? Most of the time, you're just out there getting cardio. Quarterbacks always have the ball in their hands. And the same is true for the defense. Oh, if Nick Scott would have made that tackle on Travis Etienne, then everything was. But he didn't. He didn't. And Jacksonville was not discouraged from running the ball at the Panthers. If they didn't pick up the 71 yards on one play, they would have picked up the 71 yards on 4 plays. It's all flap a butterfly's wings, the butterfly effect, right? Everything would change. They weren't discouraged from running the ball at all. It was a bad game. Doesn't have to be anything more or less than that. You don't have to stretch to change it. It was a bad game. Fix it. That's the only thing you can do. That's number 1. Let's hit number 2.
Number 2.
So the ACC is in a constant PR battle with the world. The Atlantic Coast Conference is constantly putting chips on their shoulder and saying, no one believes in us. And when Clemson wins national championships or Florida State wins a national championship or when there's a big upset or when Miami beats Notre Dame, something like that happens, you puff your chest up. Told you. Take that. When the ACC spends big on quarterbacks, Carson Beck making a lot of money, Darian Mensah making a lot of money, Klubnik, Miller Moss, right? There's a lot of quarterbacks making a lot of money in this conference. You puff your chest up. See, we can support. We do have the money. You got to win the games, though. I'm going to ride for the ACC forever and ever, right? Until either they're gone or I'm gone. I'm an ACC diehard, so I'm going to do my best to twist whatever I can into a positive ACC article, right? A positive ACC argument. But I have some numbers in front of me that are going to make that difficult. In the non-conference schedule, which for the ACC does include one kind of in-conference game, right? So when NC State played UVA, that is a guaranteed win and a guaranteed loss in the non-conference schedule because they scheduled it out of conference play. But in overall non-conference schedule, the ACC is 23-11. They are 10-0 against FCS opponents, dropping down a full division, not to the group of 5. I'm talking to FCS. ACC 10-0. Versus Power 4 opponents, right? So Power Conference opponents, talking ACC, Big 12, Big 10, SEC. The ACC's record is 4-10. Versus ranked opponents, they're 2-4, with those 2 wins being the one that I just described, Miami upsetting Notre Dame, and then Florida State upsetting Alabama. Those are the only ranked wins they have. Now, compared to the Big 12, the Big 10, and the SEC, they have the worst record overall in non-conference. So I'm comparing the Big Four conferences. The worst record versus FBS opponents, the worst record versus Power 4 opponents, and you could say like a ratio the same as the Big 10 for tied for worst against ranked opponents. The Big 10 is 1-2. The ACC is 2-4. You got to win the games. That's the only way you're going to get respect. You got to win the games. And not just take care of the ones you should, like the FBS teams, or FCS teams, excuse me. You got to win the games. I will continue to argue for you, and I'm going to have to stretch and claw, but goodness gracious, it's very difficult to argue that the ACC deserves to have as many auto bids as other conferences or deserves to have the same media rights deal as other conferences if you can't go out there and win the games. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
We are knocking on the door of NHL hockey season. You know when spring when spring is about to sprung and you hear like the birds chirping for the first time or a flower bloom and you're like, oh, we've made it. I had the hockey version of that happen today. I was scrolling on social media looking if I was missing any news, and guess what popped up?
What's that?
An Athletic article on could Sidney Crosby finish his career somewhere other than Pittsburgh. And I was like, oh, we are here. It is like the birds chirping for the first time in spring. The traditional chatter in the background of hockey season has emerged. Oh, goodness, thank you. Thank you, The Athletic, for – I didn't click on it, by the way. We know the whole breakdown of the whole thing. We've heard it a million times. But as soon as I just saw the link, I went, it is nearly here. We are less than 2 weeks away from preseason hockey. Let's start cranking out the hits. Do you think we'll get a Ken McDavid win the big one article here in the next week? That's the next one. That's the first flower blooming. But I do have some good news kind of coming out of the hockey emergence from its hibernation. Matt Larkin, at M Larkin Hockey on X.com, is the managing editor and senior writer at Daily Faceoff, tweeted this out earlier today. Good update for Canes fans from Seth Jarvis regarding his shoulder. Rehab has gone great. Here's the quote from Seth Jarvis. I can rip out some push-ups right now if you want. Close quote. Jarvis added that he'd be open to Rod Brindamore trying him at center again. Now, obviously, the part that a lot of people are going to get caught up on is the center conversation. I would advise you, if you want a tremendous amount of insight into how the Canes will be handling Seth Jarvis and perhaps Logan Stankoven and maybe trying them at center this year, if you want directly from Rod Brindamore, there's a great interview on Canes Corner on our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Long-form interview between Adam Gold here on 99.9 The Fan and Rod Brindamore. He goes into that. But from an injury standpoint, from his shoulder being good to go, from Seth Jarvis doing the tried and true, I'll bang out some push-ups for you if you want to show that his shoulder is good. It's wildly important. Seth Jarvis is, some would say, and I'm flirting with the idea, on his way to being the best player on the Carolina Hurricanes. On his way. Not there yet, on his way. But part of what he does that is so special is an absurd amount of physicality for someone his size. Being willing to throw his body around, being willing to defend, being willing to do all of that. If he has to protect anything, that becomes an issue. So the fact that he is feeling good and can get out there and let it rip is wildly good for the Carolina Hurricanes. Now you just cross your fingers, and every time he takes a big hit, you go, until he stands up and keeps playing. But it is very good to hear that he's at least going into the season neutral, if not a little springy, right? A little ready to pop. That's number 3 on the Big 3 at 3. Don't forget, at 3:30, we have a big announcement. I don't think you could predict it. Something that's literally never been said on this airways. We're going to say it at 3:30. But we also have to give you our keyword for the Sin City Skateaway, so we'll do that when we return. And one big red flag. Dave Canales has said a lot of things since that loss to Jacksonville on Sunday. One of them immediately made me cringe. I'll tell you what that is next.
The Lumineers. The Automatic World Tour, September 16th at Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh. With special guest, Chance Pena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. The Lumineers pick up their new album, Automatic, out now.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan here for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. In just over 5 weeks with Raleigh Weight Loss Center, I'm down over 30 pounds. That's right, over 30 pounds lost, thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center and their program. And here's the thing I love about the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program. Their goal is not just for you to reach a target weight. It's to reach the target weight, but also maintain that weight as well. You're not doing any injections, no shots, no HGH or steroids. It's just resetting and restarting your metabolism. That way you lose the weight in a natural way, but most importantly, keep that weight off. Visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com for your free consultation today. RaleighWeightLossCenter.com, or give them a call, 919-897-7506. 919-897-7506 is the number to call, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com, 919-897-7506. Get on that journey today. Results may vary.
Today's real estate market can be a little challenging. That's why you need a company with both personal expertise and cutting-edge tools to deliver exceptional results. At Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate, innovative programs like Buy Before You Sell, Find It First, and their 100% money-back guarantee help you buy and sell with ease and seamlessly navigate every step of the home ownership journey. To learn why you should work with the #1 family-owned real estate firm in the country, contact an agent or visit howardhannatate.com.
We don't need any more speeches, man. We need to go in and just go in and put the work in. No speeches are needed. People said things after the game, but I mean, like I said, man, we're gonna go in and get back to work together.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was Derek Brown, by the way, after the game. Derek Brown, one of the leaders of the Panthers, don't need speeches. My counterpoint would be, you need something. Can't just do the same thing you did before week 1 and expect something better. You need something. All right, let's turn our optimistic hat on for a second here. A lot of negativity. And turn towards hockey fans getting ready for a potential Sin City Skateaway. Starting yesterday, we've been giving out one keyword per hour from noon to 6, and we're going to continue doing that weekdays for the rest of this week and all of next week. So each hour, you have an opportunity to hear the keyword that we give you, text it in, and that will count as an entry into potentially winning the ultimate Vegas hockey trip. So 6 possible entries each day. The prize: a pair of tickets to see Carolina play Vegas at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas on October 20th. Round-trip airfare for 2. A 3-night stay at the Park MGM Resort and Casino. and a $400 food credit. That is a prize, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Sin City Skateaway. But the only way you can win is by listening to this show, and the Adam Gold Show directly before it, weekdays, hearing the keywords and texting them in before the end of the next hour. You only have to do it once to have an entry, but obviously you maximize your chances by doing it as often as possible. So don't miss your shot at the Ultimate Hockey Getaway, brought to you by Park MGM Las Vegas, Atlantic Spas and Billiards Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, Buffalo Brothers, and Newcomb & Company. The keyword for today, or I should say for this hour today, for the 3 o'clock hour, is hockey. Hockey. Hockey.
Let's do that hockey.
Text in just hockey to 919-860-5326 before 4 o'clock, and you will gain this hour's entry into the Sin City Skateaway. Again, the keyword hockey. Hockey. The number to text it to, 919-860-5326. And that was not the big announcement that I was teasing earlier. That'll come at 3:30. 3:30, big old new announcement that I think all of you will be excited about. That's at 3:30. This, I mean, it's a big announcement, but we're going to do this every hour for the next 2 weeks, essentially. All right, so there you go. Now let's talk about Canales. The Carolina Panthers lost 26-10 to Jacksonville. Didn't feel that close. They were pretty dominated throughout the game. And I actually don't think the Jacksonville Jaguars played particularly well for them, yet they were still in control of the game for darn near the entire game.
Yeah, Jags didn't light it up.
Since then, Dave Canales has spoken to the media multiple times after the game, Panther talk, like media availabilities happen during the season for the head coach. And a lot of it is coach speak, and a lot of it is getting better and pointing out things you need to work on. But there was one particular thing, as soon as he said it, I cringed. And I'm not the only one, because, he speaks a whole bunch, and every beat reporter was like, I'm going to tweet out that exact quote, because we all had the same thought. For context, here's Dave Canales when asked about finding balance of playing young guys on defense. Again, with context on the quote, their high draft picks, Nick Scorton, second-rounder, Princely Umanmielen, third-rounder, Lathan Ransom, fourth-rounder, a couple of defensive front guys and a safety, didn't play very much in week one. So with that being the table setting, here's Canales on finding the balance of playing young guys on defense.
I'm pushing that. I'd love for all of our young guys to play. I really believe that it's so valuable for those guys to be out there. Are they going to be perfect? No. Will every rep that they take be valuable and beneficial for their future? Yes. And so I would love for those guys to get opportunities out there so that we can see what we have. And then also just knowing like it's a long season and a lot of people are going to play, at different times. And so it'll help us, going forward. He'll get his chances, and as he continues to do the right things and show the type of play style that we've seen from him, I think he'll give us confidence, to give him a shot at some point. But, right now, I like the group the way they're at, and we just have to continue to get better at our football.
You're pushing for it? You're pushing for it. You want the young guys to play. Keep in mind, the young guys didn't play very much. Okay, that's what we know. The young guys didn't play very much, and the head coach just told us he's pushing for them to play. Do you see why my antennas would go up? Head coaches don't nudge. Head coaches don't suggest. Head coaches command. Head coaches tell. Head coaches mandate. I'm going to have to go back and rework some of the things I've said about football coaches my entire lives because Dave Canales is bucking the trend. I say all the time, head coaches are control freaks. They want to make every decision. Dave Canales apparently is tossing things in a suggestion jar and walking away. I don't care if you're an offensive-minded head coach. I don't care if you're calling the plays on offense. If you want someone to play, you tell their position coach or their coordinator that one's going to play, and they play. Your name's on the building is kind of what I'm getting at. Does anybody have any clue what Dick LeBeau's record was as a coordinator? Does anybody have any clue what I'm just picking coordinators now, right? Like does anyone have any clue what Bobby Slowick's win-loss record was as the coordinator of the Texans? No, win-loss records get attached to head coaches' names. Win-loss records get attached to head coaches' names. If you are the head coach and you want to make a decision, you make that decision. You have two options, actually. This is what I'll say. Because I'm also a believer that if you think your defensive coordinator is a great coordinator, you want to get out of their way, that's fine. That's a decision you could make. But you have two options. One, give commands so what you want to have happen happens. And if it doesn't happen, people pay, heads roll, right? Jobs are lost. Or you give autonomy to your coordinator, and then you have to keep your mouth shut about it. Then you can't say, well, I was pushing for it, right? Because now you're distancing yourself from the decision and you're putting it on them publicly when it was your decision to empower them. Either whatever you decide, I'm on board with, and then if he doesn't play the young guys, you co-signed, or play the young guys. That's the way I want to see it. There is no head coach suggestions. That's just not how it works. And this is a lot of certain analogies don't make sense crossing industries. Certain analogies do. The head coach is the boss. You can get everybody, just like in any other industry, you can get everybody in the conference room. They can all make their suggestions, but the person with the final say-so is you. And if there's 10 smart people in a room and you're the 11th and you're leading the meeting and everybody else is saying do A and you want to do B, you have 12 votes. Because in the end, it's all going to come back to your desk. Which, by the way, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with what Dave Canales is saying. I think the young guys should play. I think it's important they play. I think Lathan Ransom is a really, really intriguing prospect at safety, and safety is a spot where you could stand to improve. If you look at some of the pressure statistics, the Panthers were dead last in the entire league in week one.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you protecting by not playing Nick Scorton and Princely Uwan-Mielon? Oh, you know what? If they play, they might make a couple rookie mistakes, and you won't get pressure on Trevor Lawrence. Oh, wait. You didn't get pressure on Trevor Lawrence. You're protecting nothing. You're risking nothing by playing them. If you're the head coach and you see something that needs to be done, you order it done. This isn't a democracy. It's a football tatership. Shout out to Bring It On.
There you go.
You are the emperor. You are the pharaoh of your football team. If you empower someone else to make a decision, you back them up wholeheartedly publicly. I'm not the biggest fan of Evero as a defensive coordinator right now either, but I can say that because I'm not the one that kept him around. I'm not the one that decided to let him make those decisions. If you're the one co-signing for him, you have to eat that as a leader. After bad results, attract blame. That was me. I need to make sure they go win more. I apologize. I was pushing for it. After good things, you deflect. Right? If he plays Lathan Ransom next week and he gets an interception and 10 tackles, you don't turn around and go, I made a great decision, didn't I? No, you look at him and you say, our defensive coordinator did a great job. Goodness gracious. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Go ahead, Dan.
I'll say, I know Mike King of the Charlotte Observer even wrote back a few months ago about Evero's history as a defensive coordinator, even going back to his time in Denver of not playing rookies. Like Nick Benito, one of the best edge rushers in the NFL, started one game as a rookie. And I think actually even sat the first two games.
Which, by the way, if you're a head coach and you have a defensive coordinator with that particular blind spot and you can eliminate that for them, that's good.
Yeah.
Like if think about it, if you're the head coach and you have an offensive coordinator that calls the plays, and for whatever reason, you know there's a blind spot for short yardage plays for your offensive coordinator. They always want to get cute. If you can jump on the headset just on short yardage plays and go, power football right now. No questions. Oh, now you got the perfect offensive coordinator because his big flaw was short yardage, and you're taking that off the table for him. If maybe Evero, he has a hard time trusting rookies. If Mike Kay knew it, I'm sure Dave Canales is aware of the trends.
Yeah.
If you can jump in and go, hey, Evero, I know you don't like trusting rookies. I'm telling you, ransom in, scorting in on third downs. Like whatever it is, I'm telling you, boom, now you got a better defensive coordinator. You've eliminated one of his flaws. Be a head coach. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. And by the way, that is the difference between being a good coordinator and being a head coach. Coordinators make good suggestions. Coaches make decisions. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, you have something you'd like to tell everybody?
I do, real quick before we have our big announcement. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. I'm talking about making good decisions. Sometimes it's important as a motorcycle rider that if you're riding in groups that you have good communication with each other, believe it or not. If you recognize, hey, there's potholes in the road or whatever it might be, communicate that with each other when you're riding in a group. Also, make sure you are as visible as possible. Don't ride reckless on the road as a group, but make sure you are visible to all the other drivers out there on the road. That way everyone stays safe and protected. But injuries do happen. Accidents, unfortunately, do happen. This is where Law Tigers steps in. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you contact the insurance company. Insurance companies, let's be honest, they want to give you the least amount possible. They're not really there to help you. Whereas Law Tigers, they're part of the motorcycle riding community. They know what your bike and your gear are worth, and they also know what you're going through after an accident. That's why your case evaluation with Law Tigers is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle injury lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, gets to the big announcement right after this.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $78 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.76 to 4.98. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
What sounds like a fun weekend?
Let's rent e-bikes and have a picnic.
What does not sound like a fun weekend?
We need to fix the gutters. Let's make 6 trips to the hardware store and still end up with leaky spots.
Preserve your weekend, your home, and investment, and call Preserve Services instead. Our Preserve team excels in interior and exterior painting and home repairs. We're your one-stop shop in the Triangle for jobs you need done, but don't want to tackle. And get this, you don't pay a penny until the job's done. Schedule today at preserveservices.com.
One last exhale.
Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire Stone-Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let the high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
From the 9, snap Bailey, handoff Smothers, breaks a tackle now at the 5, makes it cut up the middle, touchdown! Hollywood Smothers scores again!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Who's ready for an announcement? Nah, I'm making you wait another hour. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Can't have fun around here anymore. These are this next piece of information is something that's been going on behind the scenes for a while here at 99.9 The Fan. It is not a small amount of work by many that are buzzing around the office constantly. Shout out to Ashley, our social media manager, the most probably on this one. For the first time in our station's history, we have an app. We have a phone app. The 99.9 The Fan app is available on the Google Play Store if you're on the Android side of things, on the App Store if you're on the iPhone side of things. And for those of you that have tried to listen to streams in the past, tried to find us online in the past, everything just became so much more user-friendly. Okay, we've, like I said, there's been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but we have now put together an app, 99.9 The Fan. You can search for it. You can also go to our social media. In the bios of all of our social media, there are links that you can click, and it'll show you how to do it. We'll be posting about it. We'll be telling you about it. There's a ton of different ways you can find the app. But the thing I'm most excited for is the ease, the convenience of which you can consume some of the content that we put out. The stream, live stream, if you want to listen in, go right to our app, hit listen. It's that simple. If you want to watch some of our YouTube clips, all of our YouTube already posted clips and the ones that we post each day, you can watch right within the app. If you want to listen to our YouTube live stream and watch along with the show, you click a link, it takes you right to the YouTube live stream. There's news, there's articles we've written, blogs we've written, there's
all of our podcasts
all
are there
of our
too.
Podcasts, all of them. You can divide it up. I'm telling you, it's simple, it's user-friendly, but you can divide it up a bunch of different ways. You can go find this show. You can find the Adam Gold Show. You can find each individual podcast. You could search or go to where it's sorted by Panthers and get the Panthers content that is on Panthers Playbook, this show, the Adam Gold Show, anywhere else. You could search NC State or UNC or Duke, and it sorts just like that. So all of the content, all of our different creators put out is in one place for each topic. It is the 99.9 The Fan app, and it is really a labor of love is what we'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
From us to all of you, because we want our listeners to not rip their hair out and get frustrated when they're trying to find something that we've put together. Okay, because we put a lot of work into it. We love that many of you want to go find it. We love that many of you want to, oh, what did you say about the Canes last week? We do our best to respond to all of those, but now there should be so many less questions.
One-stop shop.
99.9 The Fan. As I said, you can find the links in all of our social media. You can also go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and search 99.9 The Fan. When I tell you this thing is brand new, it's been up in the App Store for like hours. Like we count in minutes here. So you may have to scroll down a couple just because to find it, just because it's so new that the search engine optimization and all that needs to be kind of run through a little bit. But please find it. Please subscribe. Please give us 5 stars.
And yes, exactly. Leave us that 5-star Google review as well. So make sure you do that. But also one of the things that we're going to have on the app as well, exclusive contests that will be just on the app as well. So when you sign up and subscribe, there will be just contests that you will see eventually down the road where it's only on the app. And that's the way to enter to win some pretty cool prizes that we have lined up as well.
We've been working really hard to get the app to where it's ready to launch.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean mostly people behind the scenes, but they've been keeping us updated on it. So I do have an idea of some of the giveaways that we're going to be doing.
Oh, yeah.
We're not announcing them yet. We're just talking app. But here's what I can tell you. Download the app, register, right? Go in, make your profile. You have to give, name, birthday, whatever. Register. So that way, when the prizes and the app-only contests are being done, when they're being orchestrated, you can jump right in. And I promise you, again, take my word for it, these are pretty sweet, okay? These prizes are going to be ones you want to be first in line to get your entries in for. So go download the app, 99.9 The Fan.
And also, if you're watching on our YouTube live stream, I dropped the links to both Apple and Google Play right there on the YouTube live stream as well. So if you just want to click directly on there, which, by the way, Micah said, this is dope. Also, Travis said, just download it. This is great. Comebread said, we'll download when he's done working. Steve said, loaded, locked in. Nice app, super easy. Backyard Brian said, the way I just downloaded the app and switched so fast. Easy.
And again, we're trying to level up for you is what we're
now
doing.
You know.
We're trying to work on ourselves for you, but also I think we timed this pretty well because while I was doing this announcement, my phone started going off with social media notifications that our accounts should be posting details on how to download the app and everything right now. So if you go to our Instagram, you go to any of our social medias, you can learn more. Like we timed it up. We synchronized our watches like spies. So as soon as this hit, it's all happening. 99.9 The Fan has an app, which, I mean,
we did it.
It's been going on. We're not. At least I'm not a coder, so I don't know all the stuff that goes into it. But I do know a lot of work has gone into it, and we've aimed for simplicity, user friendly. Hope it works. Please let us know if you have critiques. DM them to me on Twitter. If you have compliments, go ahead, 5-star subscription or a 5-star rating, and then comment all of the awesome things in the reviews. That's just courtesy, right? Keep the complaints, if there are any, might be kinks, who knows, private, and we'll do our best to iron them out for you. And then compliments public so everybody knows how awesome it is.
You think the ACC is trying to steal our thunder? They announced the men's basketball schedule.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I think they are. They're saying, oh, you got an app? Well, we got basketball games. Well, listen, plenty of time for basketball games. We'll get there. In the meantime, we have an app to talk about. 99.9 The Fan. Subscribe, download, tell your friends. Pass it along in group chats. How awesome is this? Everybody download and register. That's what you need to be telling your group chats. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Really appreciate it. I also would really appreciate it if you take a minute to hear what I have to say about Mainer Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Mainer Service Company. How about this? You get a new cool app on your phone, but oh no, you look at your phone. It's on 1% battery. You go to plug it into the wall. Uh-oh, no electricity. That's okay. Use your last 1% to call Mainer Service Company. They'll get over. They'll fix it up because they're the best when it comes to fixing your electrical or your plumbing or your cooling or your heating. They do it all. They're a 5-tool baseball player. They're every tool. They got them all, right? They drive around in their trucks well equipped. Mainer Service Company. It is not just a number you keep in your phone for the emergencies, right? When there's water dripping from your ceiling and you don't know why. When it's 100 degrees outside and your air conditioning breaks. It's not just for the emergencies. It's also as the temperatures change, right? It's going from hot pretty soon here. It's football season already. It'll start getting chillier. Have them come out and run a double check on your heating. Make sure everything's working the way it should. Make sure everything's cleaned up the way it should. So as you start working it into the colder months, it'll perform the way you want it to, efficiently, and won't break down to avoid one of those emergencies, right? Mainer Service Company does it all. 24/7 service all across the Triangle, Wake County, and 50 miles in any direction for the emergency calls, but also They want to come out and help you maintain to avoid those emergency calls. So give them a call, 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. You can also visit them online at MainorServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. We'll take a break. When we come back, NC State is 2-0. Would they have been 2-0 in similar games last season? Stick around.
Stay informed with The Rundown, the daily newsletter from High School OT that delivers high school sports news and insights straight to your inbox. Brought to you by High School OT and powered by our sponsors, First Carolina Bank and Smith Douglas Homes. Subscribe to The Rundown at highschoolot.com.
It's fur, fun, and free. Join fellow pet lovers for Richie Rescues in the Park, a free community event filled with adoptable pets in need of homes. Come pick your next pet at Richie Rescues in the Park this Saturday, 11 to 3 at Dix Park in Raleigh. Sponsored by Richie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately.
Nope, sticking to our go-to places.
You mean like Sharky's?
Well, we love our Sharkies. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime and Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3.
You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection.
And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it.
Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other?
Oh, it's perfect, all right.
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Durham Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today, 919-200-4000. That's 919-200-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Bailey snap to him, design run. He keeps it and sprints off the left side, 25. Room at the 20. CJ Bailey inside the 10 and scores. 30-yard scamper.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Download the 99.9 The Fan app. I'm just going to say that randomly throughout the show. NC State is 2-0 this year. They had a one-possession, came down to the wire victory over ECU in an emotional game, building off of last year's bowl game and all of that in week one. Had a 17-0 lead, came back, had to hold on at the end. And then in week two, in a non-conference game against a conference opponent, they played UVA and found themselves down 10 at half, came back, had a lead at the end, and again, their defense had to hold on by the hair on their chinny chin at the end to win it, and they pulled both off. They won both. They're 2-0. And yesterday we talked about kind of the killer instinct, and maybe it showed a bit more in week two than week one, and maybe one of the big concerns of the early parts is alleviated a bit. But also I want to highlight another thing that Dave Doran did that we pointed out in the preseason that seems to be like they're now enjoying the fruits of that labor, and that's learning a lesson from last season. Last season, NC State came into the year, and this happens every 3 or 4 years, with just a boatload of hype. And it was mostly due to the highly talked about big-name transfers that they brought in. We're talking Grayson McCall, quarterback. We're talking Noah Rogers, receiver. We're talking Justin Jolie, tight end. We're talking Hollywood Smothers, running back. We're talking Zeke Correll, offensive lineman. Talking Wesley Grimes, wide receiver. We're talking all of these guys. All of them were incoming transfers, some former 5-stars, some top-rated player at their position in the portal, right? And they were all brought in, and that's not even all of them, but the ones we'll mention. And the hype was high. And the season never really came together for them. They ended up 6-7. Injuries and then lack of continuity, and in so many games where it felt like it was going to come down to one decision, it didn't work their way. So at ACC kickoff, we're talking with Dave Doran, and I asked if there was any lessons learned about bringing in so many new guys, and he said, yeah, we brought too many. I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said we brought in too many because it was kind of easy, right? One guy showed up, and he said, I know this other guy that wants to come, and he knew this other guy, and it was a waterfall, and suddenly they had a whole bunch of talented players, but they didn't have the continuity. So this offseason, many fewer transfers. A lot of the guys that were the big-name transfers last year stuck around, so you now have more continuity. C.J. Bailey got to start the majority of the season last year and then roll right back into being the starter at quarterback this year. So in those moments where you could be rattled, in those moments where you need to know where your teammate's going to be and trust them to be there, they've come up with it. Speaking to the media yesterday, and it is a short week for NC State. They play Wake Forest on Thursday. Dave Doran talked about loving his team's mentality at halftime against UVA when they were down by 10.
I love how poised the guys were. You know, we went in at halftime, and the players were great. Coaches made really good corrections and adjustments, and the players understood what we needed to do to get that game back on our side, playing our style of football.
And I'm not, it's a 15-second clip. I'm not going to make too much out of it. But I do think calmness, poise in those situations comes from being around guys for a while, trusting them, having seen them in those moments before. Remember, I'm going to relate this to a Panthers conversation we had. At the beginning of the year, the Panthers, I'm going way back preseason, said that the Panthers were going to play in the first preseason game. They'd play in multiple preseason games. And I came on this show and said, look, they learned a lesson. Last year, they didn't play their starters enough, and now they're playing the starters more. And I was excited by that. I was like, maybe they won't start super flat to start the year. And then last year, the starting offense played 12 plays in one drive. This year, they played 18 plays. And they called that enough. And I had to come on here and retract all of that praise and go, never mind, they didn't learn anything. They're still not playing their guys. They're still not getting them the reps. I thought they did. They didn't learn the lesson. And then, of course, they come out game one flat and it doesn't work. And it's like, well, maybe you should have seen this coming because you did the same thing you did last year. Dave Doran and NC State did not follow that same path. This year does feel different in those close moments. Not saying the team is more talented, not saying they're going to go win the ACC, but I am saying I'm not sure last year those two games end up wins. I'm not sure last year those two games end up wins if, for the majority, they go the same way, right? If you end up, fourth quarter, you need to make sure you don't turn the ball over. You need to make sure your defense bends but doesn't break. You need to make that one play. I'm not sure they would have come up with it last year because they'd still be getting to know each other. They'd still be deciding if they trust each other. This year, it's obvious that they do. It's obvious that their coaching staff learned something. When C.J. Bailey needs a first down, he can go to Joe Lee. He can go to Noah Rogers. He can go to Wesley Grimes. These are guys that he's been with for a while now. And now they're going into a short week, right? I mentioned Thursday night against Wake. Short week. Familiarity helps you so much in a short week. Right? There's a little bit of, and especially because I know they're two new coordinators, but they were both on staff last year, so they have that reference, right? They have that, hey, remember last year against this team on third down, we did that? Yeah, everybody remembers that. Okay, cool. We're going to do something similar here if they come out in this formation, right? You have that recall. Wake Forest doesn't have any of that. Wake Forest has new coaching staff, bunch of new players. They have to start from scratch. Okay, if they come out, here's why we're going to think to do this. No, this is what I mean by this. There's none of that back history to lean on. They may even have to introduce some new words, some new terminology.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Doran, talking to the media yesterday, acknowledged that his team hasn't had a normal prep week this season yet.
We've had a Thursday game coming out of training camp, a long prep getting ready for game 2, now a short prep for game 3. We have no routine. And that's our routine right now. It's different every week, and it's unique. You have less time to prepare as a coach. You have less time to recover as a player. You have less time to practice, less time for everything.
In those unusual moments, I think it's where the continuity needs to be the strongest. Short week, guess what has to happen? There's got to be some players-only meetings because, like, the NCAA limits how much time you're allowed to spend. You have to get the quarterback and the receivers in the meeting room together, and coaches can't say it's mandatory that you're there. Players have to run that. Coaches can hint, and sometimes they do, but players have to run that. The offensive linemen have to get with the quarterback on what protections you want to see when they do this. Which way are we going to slide? All of those things. And I think a lot of that only comes with time. Unless you are, like, to use an NFL example, like Aaron Rodgers shows up in Pittsburgh, he's mostly going, like, I'll tell each of you what I want, right?
Yeah.
Like, he is a coach on the field. It's very different for, like, a 19 or 20-year-old, right? That's where you need, like, hey, it might take me a little while to recognize it, but once I do, play clock might be down. I'm going to have to, bark out a signal. You got to know what you're doing. It can't be – what'd you say? I need you to run a post like that. That doesn't work like that.
I know. Dave Doran told us over the summertime how this is the first time in several years that he's had the same starting quarterback from one year to the next. And that's got to help so much. And you and I talked about it as well. Is that Joe Lee, Smothers, Rodgers, Grimes, all these guys back. It's just continuity. And again, going into a short week against Wake Forest. They haven't gone through this together, the short week or anything like that. I mean, Ashford's been their quarterback for 2 games. Their head coach has been there for 2 games. That's it. Whereas, again, that level of continuity should – if NC State, I know their history going into Wake Forest on Thursday Night Football hasn't always been the best for them. But if they just can lean on that experience together in terms of game plan, there's no reason why they don't walk out with another win on Thursday. There's no reason why.
I look at college football now with so much money being spent and certain programs spending an absurd amount of money.
Yeah.
Kind of the way we look at March Madness, which is there's going to be teams that just buy talent. And they're going to show up in every offseason. They're going to go get the best transfers, and they're going to go get the best best players sneaker money can buy, right? They're going to go get great teams. And then every year there's going to be in the Final Four, 1 or 2 of those teams and 1 or 2 or 3 of these guys know each other. They've played together for 2 or 3 years, right? They might be second-round picks in the NBA rather than lottery picks in the NBA, but they're going to react differently in close games. State, no offense, you're not going to spend like Texas Tech, right? You're not going to spend like Oregon. You're not going to spend like some of these teams with $40, $50 million each year that they can dip into if they need to. But you can have some continuity so when those big blue chip prospects are off page a little bit, you are all not only on the same page, but reading from the same paragraph, the same line, and you're skimming along at the same pace. Continuity and stability can be something that evens out, quite frankly, payroll, if you can keep them all without paying them a bunch. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, which is a big if. Big if there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. talking with Gordon Miller the other day, and Gordon pointed out rates are the lowest they've been this year, right? And do you know what I really enjoy about Gordon Miller and Miller Lending? There's no feeling of, I told you rates were going to be down, right? Which everyone in that business seems to be, I predicted this exactly. And no, Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, there's very little that can be predicted in a volatile mortgage market, right? In an interest market. Instead, what they say is, let us prepare you for whatever happens next, right? Whatever unpredictable happens. Get a no closing cost loan, which Gordon Miller, Miller Lending have been doing for decades. No third-party fees, no closing costs, none of it whatsoever. That way, your rate is locked in, and if rates go up, because you can't predict it, your rate's locked in. Your payment's not going up. But if rates go down, right, if you would have done this in January, and now rates are down a point and a half, well, guess what? Refinance. No money out of your pocket. Do it again. Get the lower rate. You didn't miss out on some opportunity by locking in the mortgage when you did. You now just take advantage of it when the opportunity arises and rates drop. And if they drop again in the future, do it again. Rather than pay to buy down your rate, $10,000, $15,000 to get down to a 6.5, you pay no cost in fees. That helps you eat maybe a small payment higher than you want, and when rates drop, refinance, you're good to go. Let them explain more. Give them a call, 919-447-3377. That, of course, is Miller Lending, 919-447-3377, or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We're going to take a break. When we come back, football at 4. What about the demeanor of Dave Canales after a bad loss? Stick around.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Will you make the right call? Time's running out, pressure's on, and you need your roof replaced. Hi, I'm Holly from RoofWorks. It's 4th and goal, and the decision's in your hands. The competition can't stop you. You're about to score the game winner. We've trained for years for this moment to raise the roof for you. So avoid the noise and put us in the game. Call RoofWorks today or visit us online at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Our below normal temperatures continue both overnight and in the afternoons. This afternoon looking at mid-70s under variably cloudy skies. It's a little breezy out there for us. Temperatures in the upper 50s tonight under mostly cloudy skies, and tomorrow partly cloudy with highs in the mid-70s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today up 196 points to 45,711. This hour of the drive is brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbook, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. A little bit later this hour, we will give you the next keyword in the Sin City Skateaway. Hopefully you texted in the previous keyword by 4 o'clock. The next one we give you will be good until 5 o'clock. And also, if you weren't tuned in earlier, we now have an app, an application, a phone app Search for it in the Google Play Store, the App Store. You can also find a link that can help you download it in the bio of any of our social medias. It's the 99.9 The Fan app. First time our station has ever had its own standalone app for streaming and YouTube and everything else. So 99.9 The Fan should make your experience as a listener, particularly if you are away from your radio often, should make your experience as a listener, what are we talking, 100 times better? 1,000 times better? Trying not to exaggerate here. We'll go with 100 times better. But it's still 99.9 The Fan app. Search for it, download it, register it, 5-star on whatever app store you download it from. Now, The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, jumps to football at 4. There are a lot of questions about the Carolina Panthers. And we could sit here, we could just list them, right? We could just say, are they going to be able to get a pass rush? Are they going to be able to stop the run? Who's going to emerge as wide receiver 3? Who's going to emerge as wide receiver 2? What does the running game need to get going? When will the young guys play on defense? We could just ask questions. But there's one question that I think's been asked longer. And at a certain point, I think we have our answer, but we keep asking it, hoping we get a different answer. When Dave Canales took over the Carolina Panthers, head coach, Carolina Panthers, came as an offensive coordinator from Tampa, came from the Pete Carroll mold, right? And spent a lot of time out there in Seattle, had just helped Geno Smith resurrect his career, and then immediately Baker Mayfield resurrect his career. So he showed up in Carolina with the hopes of resurrecting a young number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young. And it was obvious from the very beginning, he's an optimistic dude. Right? This is the kind of guy who, gets drips ketchup on the front of his shirt and says, "This is great. I'm so excited to use my new Tide to Go pen. I carry it around all the time just for moments like this. How incredible.
Opportunity for another shirt to be worn.
Exactly. I've been wanting to break out my new blue shirt, and I was nervous until this one got ruined. Look how good my new blue shirt is." Like, he is an optimistic dude. And from the very beginning, I said, that's refreshing. That's lovely. That's great. But I'm fascinated to see how this dude operates after a bad loss. Right? I'm fascinated how he operates after a bad loss and how everybody reacts to that. Because you got to be a mighty charismatic person to have your team get smacked and be in that locker room like, this is an opportunity for us to watch the film and get better, guys. Hey, everybody, how great is this? Even though we just lost by a bunch and we got pushed around, we get to play football for a living. Guys, this is great. I don't know if many of you have spent time in locker rooms, even high school locker rooms, right? Anywhere where like you go, you sit down on a bench and you're taking your pads off. After a loss, it is awful. After a bad loss, it's like a morgue in there. It's like a funeral. And maybe, you take it too seriously, it's just a game. I don't care if we take it too seriously or not. That's just a fact. It is awful in there. And if someone is in there even like remotely sounding chipper, they're getting death stares. And it happens in college sometimes, right? The true freshman walk on, all they know is it's now Saturday night and they didn't play. Right? They put a little smile on their face. Hoo boy, there's a senior with their eye black still on coming down that hallway, ready to let them have it. So I was questioning, how would it work? What will he say? How will he handle it? How will he snap his team back into it? And now we are a long time in, right? This is not like the first game that these guys have spent together, right? We're in the second year of Dave Canales and Bryce Young. We're into the next evolution, and there's a really bad loss, and I'm still waiting for him to get mad. I'm still waiting for him to let everybody know that what they put on the field week 1 is not good enough. And not in a, well, we want to do better every week kind of vibe. In a, no, that's not just that we want to get better every week. After we win by 30, we still want to get better next week. After that, we need a kick in the pants. He knows what's at stake, right? He knows that if this season goes on a trajectory that's not up and up and up, Bryce Young's not coming back, and there's a good chance he's not coming back. That's how the NFL works. A loss, it's not the end of the world, but most coaches treat it as such because livelihoods are on the line. Think of the great coaches, right? Even like Andy Reid seems like a pretty fun-loving guy, right? Like the fumbly rooski doo. Oh, give me those nuggies, like whatever the commercials are that he's in, right? After he wins Super Bowls, he's like, somebody get me a cheeseburger. Like, he's a fun-loving guy. But if you talk to any of his former players or even current players, they'll tell you, oh, he'll light you up. Oh, he'll in a meeting, he'll light you up. If you mess up on a play on the field, he'll light you up. Does anybody think a Panther's going to have that story? No, you know what? No, actually, I know he seems optimistic, but he got after me. I don't think so. I don't get the vibe. I'd be surprised. Not saying it's impossible. I'd be surprised. Just listen to this. We have some audio. Dave Canales on where the team is lacking after watching film. So he's taken the time, right? This isn't right after the game where some coaches just don't like speaking too negatively because they want to go, double check everything. This is after he's watched the game live, then he's watched the tape. Now he's asked where the team is lacking. Here's Dave Canales.
The things that we're looking at are fundamental things that we work on, that we're counting on. And I think the more that we can make the progress tangible for them, something that they can see and say, okay, well, if we work on this, we practice this, this will lead, to success. This will lead to improvement in what we're doing. That's the way we try to do it on Mondays. And so we looked at the clips, we looked at the turnovers, we looked at the missed tackles, the fundamental parts of it, looked at the processes at the line, against some pretty challenging looks, some pretty challenging pressure looks that we can certainly sort out, that we have done in the past, and to make sure that we're on the same page.
This is how we do it on Mondays. This is not just a run-of-the-mill Monday. These problems are not, we need to clean some things up. These are massive, gaping leaks in the Hoover Dam. It's not business as usual. Right? If there's a leak in the Hoover Dam, you don't have your construction workers going, well, we always get off at 5. We come back at 9 the next day. That's just how we do it. So we'll see you. Hopefully this is all good. No, you're yelling, you're screaming, your alarms are sounding. Throw your hard hats on. Let's get to work. There needs to be an appropriate response. And before you say nobody should panic, it's just week 1. It's not just week 1. It's week 1 of year 2. They're the stable bad team. Of the 10 teams that won 5 games or less last season, every single one of them, except for the Panthers, have a different head coach or starting quarterback or both this year. They were the only bad team that tried to keep it consistent over the offseason. And they showed up and made a whole bunch of mistakes, big ones too. This is not like, oh, don't overact to 1 week. This is, no, the stability was supposed to eliminate these mistakes, and you showed up and made them anyway.
And you're also a team that was also part of that 5 or less win teams from last year.
And they replaced their coach.
Yeah.
If they had some miscues and some miscommunications, and if they were slow in and out of the huddle, and if they had a receiver break left and the ball went right, there's some explanation for that. It was their first game playing for Liam Cohen. For the Panthers, there is none. There is none. And it's not like a one thing. It's an accumulation. It's built up. It requires, and this is one of the reasons why I say it's not always great to use those cross-industry analogies, because in other industries, I think you could argue this is never the right course of action. It requires yelling. It does. It requires anger. Right? The stuff that might get HR called if you did it in an office is football is different. It just is. And you need to have that in your bag of tricks as a coach. I wouldn't break it out all the time. right? I mean, you can't yell and scream after every game, but when it is necessary, and after week 1 it was necessary, you got to bring a little bit of juice. Well, on Mondays we watch the film, and then we dive in and we try to dissect our fundamentals and processes. It's what? You should be so mad you can't even pronounce words like fundamentals and processes.
Trying to process how to say fundamentals right now.
There should be more 4-letter words in that mix. There you go. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, you have something you'd like to tell everybody?
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. Folks, are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, maybe watching your hard-earned money just vanish away every single month? Well, stop doing that. Right now, Loan Pronto, they're delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases, and here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Imagine this. Lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the ladder challenge coming up, and immediately after we return, I will give you the next keyword in our Sin City Skateaway that could win you a trip to Vegas. Next word coming up.
Finally.
Yes, finally. There's an app for 99.9 The Fan.
Finally!
Listen to your favorite hosts, your teams, and live sports action.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! They are destroying the Chiefs!
And every podcast episode at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Hey, Greater Triangle area, Chick-fil-A invites you to enjoy a 4-count chicken minis on us in the Chick-fil-A app. Join us this week, September 8th through 12th, to get your reward for a 4-count chicken minis by downloading or signing into your Chick-fil-A app with location services on in the Greater Triangle area. Redeem when you order through the Chick-fil-A app at a participating Greater Triangle area Chick-fil-A restaurant from open to 10:30 a.m. Offers subject to availability. Rewards are single-use only. Limit 1 per person per Chick-fil-A One account. See further details in the app.
Listen up. ESPN Unlimited is now included at no extra cost with Spectrum TV. Spectrum gives you everything from ESPN, live games, original series, top analysis, and more. Spectrum is really stepping up with this offer, and you get more of me, Stephen A. Smith. Get your act together and go to spectrum.com/entertainment for details. ESPN Unlimited and more popular streaming apps are included at no extra cost with Spectrum TV. Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Deep drop. There we go. Deep throw. Touchdown. Left side. Touchdown, Carolina. Chris Culliver brings it in. 3 plays, 75 yards.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right. Is everybody ready? Everybody, if you need to, get your pens and papers out, because it's time for the next keyword in the Sin City Skateaway. You have 45 minutes to text in this keyword to 919-860-5326 to gain this hour's entry into the Sin City Skateaway. Next week, we'll do this So it's from noon to 6 all week this week, Monday through Friday, all week next week. And then Monday, September 22nd, we will pick one of the entries, right? One of them, one person. And they'll win a pair of tickets to see Carolina play Vegas at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas on October 20th. They'll win round-trip airfare for 2. And they'll win a 3-night stay at Park MGM Resort and Casino. And they'll win a $400 food credit to spend while they're there. They get the entire prize package. To maximize your chance to win, you need as many entries as possible every hour from noon to 6 on the days I mentioned. We'll give you a keyword. You have to text it in by the top of the next hour. So this word that I'm about to give you will be good until 5 o'clock. After 5 o'clock, text it in. You will not get an entry. It is a hard deadline. The keyword for this hour, Sky. S-K-Y. Sky. Text in Sky to 919-860-5326. Sky. Text that in before 5 o'clock to 919-860-5326, and you will gain this hour's entry into the Sin City Skateaway. Don't miss your shot at the ultimate hockey getaway, brought to you by Park MGM Las Vegas, Atlantic Spas and Billiards, Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, Buffalo Brothers, and Newcomb & Company. Now. Oh, but don't forget, by the way, we have a new app, 99.9 The Fan, brand new app. Station's never had an app before. That was revealed earlier today. We made the big announcement. If you haven't done so yet, what are you doing? Get to the Google Play or App Store. Download. 5 stars. Review positively. All that.
Go to the links in our bios and our social media. It's even on a YouTube live chat right now. It's all right there, folks.
Check it out. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. With that being said, ladder challenge time.
Oh, my God! And for the 20-foot ladder with a spear on Jeff Hardy. For the love of God, Jeff Hardy may be broken. Smack dab in half.
Ladder challenge, Dennis versus me, one-on-one. Me versus Dennis, mano-a-mano, monthly gambling competition where we make likely to win bets and we roll over the stake and the winnings every single day. Whoever has the most money at the end of the month wins. If you lose, you go back to $10, start all over again. The only caveat is they have to be likely to win bets, minus 500 to minus 1,000, right? We're basically playing into our egos that we watch enough sports, we know enough that we should be able to hit like minus 800 bets almost 100% of the time. With that being said, Dennis, we didn't do this yesterday. We got caught up with a little Monday sound off.
Yeah.
So where do you stand after Friday?
I'm at $11.11 thanks to Patrick Mahomes having 180-plus passing yards on Friday night out there in Brazil.
I am up to $15.02.
Nice.
And you ready for this? This is why we tease them down. This is why we don't bet, minus 110 or plus 135. I had Panthers-Jags over 34.5 points total. 26-10, baby.
Yeah.
That's winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, you're thinking Chuba Hubbard. Hey, glad you broke that tackle there, buddy.
Yeah, but
that touchdown reception.
Probably should have been a pick six in the other direction, and that would have counted as well.
That's true.
It was a cover or a cover. I was there.
That's right. The pick six was the play before the Chuba Hubbard touchdown. It's true.
In the immortal words of Dom from the very first Fast and the Furious, doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. And I stayed up. So 1502 is where I stand right now. I am continuing to go full Costanza. It's been working this month.
Okay.
I am doing exactly what I normally wouldn't because I was on a cold streak, and this is how you break cold streaks in gambling. You just go, all right. It's actually more like if you pick 6 straight losers, you go, that's just as impressive as picking 6 straight winners. I just have to flip it. So then you go, all right, what exactly would I not do? Guess what I would not do today if I were just picking to win bets? I would not pick Colorado Rockies Ezekiel Tovar to go under 0.5 doubles versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Do you know why I wouldn't make that bet? Because I know absolutely nothing about Ezekiel. I don't watch the Rockies, and the Dodgers are pretty good. So I threw it out there. It's minus 1,000. Which also I don't normally do because I go minus 1,000. That's not going to give me any payout. Let me find something a little juicier. So I'm just going full Costanza against what I normally do. Give me Tovar under 0.5 doubles, so essentially 0 doubles for Tovar, and that'll turn my 1502 into 1652.
Plays for the Rockies, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Rockies against the Dodgers.
All right, I'm going to go baseball as well because obviously no football. We're not in action quite yet. But give me Matthew Liberatore. Earned runs against the Seattle Mariners. He's a pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. One or more earned runs allowed against the Seattle Mariners today. Again, the Cardinals on the road in Seattle. It's a minus 800, so my $11.11 will turn into $12.49.
All right. Why?
Why not?
All right. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Sometimes gambling's that way, especially on a day where, like, we're right in the middle of the what I call the no football weekend, right? Because our football week is Thursday night football, then Friday for high school, then Saturday on college, then Sunday NFL, then Monday night football. The Tuesday, Wednesday, you just got to get through. You just got to find a way to get to more football. And then 2 weeks from now, we'll be talking preseason hockey and then basketball, and then we're all clear. But for Tuesday, Wednesday, for somebody that gambles the way I do, which is not very well on baseball, it's a struggle. That's the ladder challenge here on the Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Let's jump to a little copper drop.
You want true enlightenment? Well, I'm dropping.
All right, let's go right into actually a little bit of hockey. Earlier today, you talked about how Seth Jarvis in an interview with the Daily Faceoff said, hey, shoulder's feeling good. Can rep out some push-ups. Also said he's open to moving to center if Rob Brindamore asks him to play there. Even though Rob Brindamore did tell Adam Gold, most likely not going to put him there.
Not first.
Not first, at least. So, cop or drop, we will see Seth Jarvis line up at center for more than 10 games this season. Cop or drop?
More than 10. I drop it. I'm dropping it, and part of it is for vibes from Rod Brindamore. If that conversation you mentioned with Adam Gold, he didn't rule it out, but partially because I believe the Canes believe in ruling nothing out. Like, they're always like, if this changes, if this happens, like, they're just a open-minded organization as a whole. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm paraphrasing a quote a little bit here. He basically said, Seth Jarvis is really good on the wing, so I'm not sure I want to mess with that. Right? He kind of was like, why would we move the guy that's that good at the wing? Because maybe that throws off the juju.
There's some real aspects of his game that if you move him to center, you take away. Like his ability on the rush and things like that, the way he can cover the point and create off the rush, you take that away if he's taking defensive zone draws. So there really is a true drawback about it.
So just the way that Rod addressed that to Adam makes me think, in a pinch, we could try it, but not what they want to have happen.
Yeah.
And I think there's other options. So I'm going under 10. Not to say, like, if somebody gets a boo-boo or an owie, he can't, slide over for 5 games or something. And then if it works, they may keep it, but I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, a lot of it's circumstantial. We shall see. All right, the next one here, let's actually switch gears over to the Carolina Panthers. Cop or drop? Ejiro Evero ends the season as the Carolina Panthers defensive coordinator. Cop or drop?
Ends the season. Metaphorically? Like, the season's over week 7.
No, I'm talking like the end of the year, week 18. He's still the DC.
I'll drop it. I'm saying he will not end the season. Which one is that supposed to be?
So that'd be, I said cop or drop that he will end the season as a defensive coordinator.
I'm dropping it. I do not think he is. I'm going to give you 2 reasons on why I'm on that side of the fence. One is, if things stay bad, and they were bad week 1, something has to change. And there's really not a lot of options, right? Bryce Young at quarterback, they didn't bring in logical competition, right? Andy Dalton, playing him doesn't really make sense because of his age and his where he's at in his career. So there's really there's no one to put in at quarterback except for Bryce. You're obviously not changing the offense because that's Dave Canales. He's the head coach. The defensive coordinator specifically is the one piece that you feel like you can change out without rocking the foundation. And I do think at some point there's going to need to be change. The second reason is Dave Canales kind of threw him under the bus, right? With the, why aren't the young defensive guys playing? And he said, well, I'm pushing for it, which sounds a little bit like he won't do it. Like, that's him. Don't ask me, ask him. And that is enough right there maybe to show me there's some kind of a rift between the two. And if a coordinator is rifting with the head coach, we know how that ends up. Either your unit starts playing like the best unit in the league and you save your job, or it usually ends in Splitsville. So I'll go. I don't like it. Evero seems like a nice guy. But just looking at the way the NFL has conditioned me to believe, I don't think he finishes the season.
Okay. Another Panthers question for you. Cop or drop? Bryce Young will get benched this season. Cop or drop?
I'm going to drop it for the reason I said. I'm not going to guarantee that he doesn't play bench-worthy football, right? I think if he strings together, 2, 3, 4 games of what we saw week 1, that's bench-worthy, right? And that's just a production-based business, right? If you turn the ball over, if you don't have great awareness in clutch moments, and you're a quarterback, writing's on the wall. The issue is I don't think they have somebody that logically makes sense to play, right? There's no project or developmental guy that you want to see. There's no, well, maybe this guy could. There's no running quarterback behind him that could come in and give a spark to the offense in a different way. There's none of that, right? And because of that, I don't know where you go. So you probably give him a long leash, right? You probably give Bryce Young a few more games than you would a normal quarterback, because it doesn't make sense to go to Andy Dalton. And then by the time you decide, all right, we're all the way out on Bryce, it's probably to the point where it's beneficial to lose games, because you're thinking draft pick, you're thinking how are we going to get our quarterback this upcoming offseason? So, I think they play it out with him. At least I would, and I hope they would as well.
All right, next one here, cop or drop? NC State quarterback C.J. Bailey will lead all ACC quarterbacks in rushing touchdowns this season. He has 3 already. Cop or drop?
He has 3. Haynes King had a bunch, didn't he?
Haynes King, I think, had 3 in the first game of the year. I don't know if he had any in week 2 or not.
It's a good question. I'm gonna drop it. I don't think he does. Partially because I don't think that's his game. I think it's nice to have, and now that he's shown it, that's plenty, right? Now defenses have to worry about it. But I still think, like, when C.J. Bailey is operating at his best, he's a passer, right? And I like that about him, okay? I like that. And he's still on the skinnier side. I think there's still a decent amount of weight he can put on. So I don't want to have him taking hits unnecessarily. So I think it's great if defenses have to, like, throw a spy on him when you're down inside the 30. Like, that's fantastic. It makes his job as a passer easier. Not to say he'll never run, but I think guys like Haynes King and a few others across the ACC. I think Holstein's running for a decent amount up there at Pitt. I think there's a few others. Is Castellanos running for Florida State? Might be some of that going on. Don't quote me on that, though. I just think there's other guys that'll make that more of their game. So I'm dropping it, but I do like Bailey's mobility being a part of their season.
Holstein doesn't have a touchdown this season yet rushing, but he did have 3 last year. Haynes King has 3 rushing touchdowns so far this year as well. All right, speaking of quarterbacks in the ACC, cop or drop? UNC football this Saturday against Richmond will have a touchdown drive on their second drive of the game. Cop or drop? They play Richmond. I mean, you know what they could do in the first drive.
I was going to say, I think the question might be, like, on any drive after the first drive.
Yeah.
I'm going to cop it.
Okay.
I'm going to cop it.
Again, the second drive.
Yes. First drive for sure. First drive, I mean,
that's a lock.
Over under 2.5 plays until they're in the end zone. Probably a deep ball down the left sideline, if we're being real. But I mean, you have to take into account the opponent. And no disrespect to Richmond, although they were in my conference when I played, and old grudges die hard. But we beat Richmond. Just throwing that out there. But also, like, UNC should be able to will themselves into the end zone more than a few times against Richmond, and I think they need to. We're going to talk about it a little later on. Actually, do we just want to talk about it now? Let's talk about Gio Lopez now.
Sure.
Let's cut this. I watched a lot of Gio Lopez today. I was grinding some film this morning because I do feel around UNC our attention is divided. Right? There's the football parts of what's going on, and there's the off-the-field parts of what's going on. The coach's romantic relationship, the coach's grudge holding with his former employee, the like so much other stuff is going on. So I think and this is me putting my hand up saying I'm gonna try to do better, watch the game tape, right? I think I've been a bit of a problems guy with UNC rather than a solutions guy. Just talking about, wow, their offense stinks after the first drive of each game, and they're not opening up the offense, and who's their guy, and like just asking questions about problems rather than coming with answers. So I set out today to watch every snap that Gio Lopez played against TCU and against Charlotte. Went into my recorded stuff, bring it up, fast forward, reverse, looked at it, charted his passes. Dennis's vibes were correct. He's not throwing it over the middle enough. He is very, very heavy tendency to the left, meaning throwing to his left, throwing deep to the left, and that's where his success has been, but that's where a lot of his attention has gone, and it's gotten him hit a few times. The number one task for UNC offensively. Defensively, I still think they're going to get it together. I think like as soon as they're on the same page with the Belichicks as far as adjustments and everything, I still think they'll be fine defensively. There's talent there. Offensively, it's a two-parter, okay? The thing that they don't have very, very well locked up right now is what I call a counterpunch. You have to find what Gio Lopez does very, very well. What is the thing that he puts on first on his highlight film, and then find what defenses will do to stop that and have the counter. And that's where the Dennis's observation was correct in that he does throw fairly accurately down the field on the sidelines. Okay, he has nice touch on his deep ball. He turns it over nice, and when you get Culliver down the sidelines or you get Shipp down the sidelines, even some of the incompletions down the sidelines I thought were put in good places down the left sideline where it was kind of hit, the receiver was going to catch it or nobody was going to catch it. He's done some things that are good in that specific area of the game. The issue is when he drops back and that particular part of the game is covered, there's panic. There's little skittishness. There's no obvious answer, right? And even if, quarterbacks get sometimes talked down upon for this, even if he's getting really quick to the check down, you just need an answer for when the thing you do best isn't there, right? It's no different than a basketball player who, can only shoot the three. It's eventually defenses are going to – you hit 3 threes in the first quarter, they're going to tell their defensive player, don't let him shoot the three. Make him beat you off the bounce. And if you can't beat him off the bounce, if you can't distribute the ball to a teammate, if you can't handle the ball, if you don't have something else you can go to, then you're no good from that point forward. And I don't know what Gio's other thing is, right? And I can't because they don't open up practice to us. But part of me wants to give him, right? I like to name my theories. The Ben Simmons rules. So I'm a Sixers fan. I don't talk about it often. Point of pain. But I'm a Sixers fan. And when Ben Simmons was on the Sixers, very highly scrutinized, he basically stopped shooting, right? He went from a player that in college appeared to have at least beginnings of a decent jump shot. And at some point in his NBA career, the yips happened, whatever it was, and he couldn't shoot threes. Couldn't even bring himself to shoot threes. Couldn't even bring himself to shoot jumpers. At one point in time, he was passing up wide open layups and dunks because he just couldn't. There was a mental block. And my solution was I don't even know if this is what it's called, immersion therapy, right? I wanted to go full Brewster's Millions, right? Before I give you my $300 million inheritance, I need you to blow $30 million. So you're exhausted by it and you don't want to do it again. If you've seen Brewster's Millions, Richard Pryor movie, it's fantastic. John Candy movie, it's fantastic. So my rule was, Ben Simmons, every game you don't shoot 3 threes. I don't care if they go in. I don't care if you break the backboard. I don't care if you throw it 10 rows into the stands. If you don't have 3 attempts from 3, I'm fining you $1 million. Now, I hope to never fine you. I hope I get no money out of this because I want you taking those threes and I want you learning that it's okay to miss or whatever the block is. You can beat it, right? You don't got to make the threes, just got to take them. Gio Lopez, I kind of want to do the same with like stick routes or crossing routes. Like I just want completions. They don't even have to be completions. Targets inside the hashes. If you don't have at least one target inside the hash every quarter, I'm fining you $1 million. I don't know if you're allowed to do that to players, but you're running stadium steps at 4:30 every Monday. If after the game you don't have a certain amount of attempts at the thing that they don't expect you to do. Because right now their offense is kind of a one-trick pony. Right now their offense is very narrow. And if the opposing team takes that away, they don't have the counterpunch. And sometimes you only need one. Right? And you can just keep going back and forth between those two things. You take away the deep ball down the left sideline. All right, I'm coming to the crossing route on the backside. All right, now you're coming to stop the crossing route on the backside. I'm going back to the deep ball. It's not that simple, and I'm oversimplifying it. But you need the counterpunch. That's where I think UNC's offense is lacking. And that's why you can do something like the first series, you're great, and then from that point on, it's off. Right? They make their mistake on the thing you do well, and then their coach yells at them, and they vow to never make that mistake again. And then you're out of luck. Right? We've all done that. I don't know why this was the thing that popped into my head. I don't even know if it's true. It might be one of those stories that you've just heard many times. And when my brother was a little kid, he got his shoelace stuck in the escalator. And for the rest of like our childhood, every time we were at the mall going up the escalator, I mean, he was double and triple tying his shoes right before he went up, right? Because you make the mistake once, you're never going to make that mistake again. Never. Probably to this day, he checks like his kids' shoes, my niece and nephew, before they get on the escalator because it's like, no, I made that mistake once. I'm never going to miss it again. Like UNC is there. Right, the defense makes their mistake. They beat them on it. They score on the first drive, right? Whether it's the deep ball down the left sideline to Jordan Shipp against TCU on the first drive, or the deep ball down the left sideline to Culliver that scored on the first drive against Charlotte, and then the defense vows to never have that happen again, and now they're in trouble. Now they're struggling to move the ball. That corner will never get beat on that route ever again. He'll be a high school coach 40 years from now going, now they might throw it deep down the left sideline. We're not going to get beat there because they got beat by UNC 40 years ago. You need your counterpunch. And the best have 1,000 of them. You don't need 1,000 of them. We don't need you to be the greatest show on turf here. But it'd be nice to have a handful. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Once again, Dennis has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. Something that I really enjoy, speaking of being able to counter something. As a motorcycle rider, you need to be able to make sure that you can counter what the vehicles in front of you or beside you do. Always have an escape. What's my plan? I might be riding on this lane on the left side of the lane, and guess what? Someone cuts me off. What's my escape route? What's my counter to what someone else does in front of me? You have to have that when you're on the road as a motorcycle rider. Always have an escape. That's what I like to say. So you can always avoid disaster safely. If you can't have one escape, try and have two, if not three. Always have an out plan when you're on a motorcycle. But sometimes that out plan doesn't always work. And unfortunately, you get in a situation where you are in an accident. This is where Law Tigers steps in to help you. Give them a call if you're injured in a motorcycle accident. 1-800-LAW-TIGERS is the number to call. You can also check them out online, lawtigers.com. Again, lawtigers.com, where you can check out Law Tigers. Your case evaluation with Law Tigers, it's always free. They don't get paid a dime. You don't pay a dime until your case settles as well. And also the wonderful thing about Law Tigers attorneys is that they're motorcycle riders too. They understand the risks. They know what you're going through after an accident. And they also know the value of your gear and what your bike is worth to you. And also just how much that costs as well. They understand what you're going through. That's why if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS is the number to call. Again, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Download our app. Brand new today. Brand new first ever 99.9 The Fan app available in the Google Play and App Store. Download it now. 5 stars, please, and write a review. All positive things. It's awesome. You can get so much content there, including listening to this show live if you're away from your radio. When we return, a little feedback frenzy. We hear from many of you coming up.
Move your sports day forward.
Normally, you want to take back all the bad things you say about a team, but I want to pull back all the good things I said about the Panthers leading into Sunday's ugly fail in Jacksonville. Nothing got fixed in the offseason or in training camp. Defense can't stop the run. Offense remains erratic. Check those return policies, kids. Keep the tags on those uniforms you bought less than 30 days ago.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Is your heating and air system handling the hot weather okay? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your independent trained dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Billy Currington and Kip Moore live in concert. Saturday, September 13th, Red Hat Amphitheater, Raleigh. Billy Currington, Kip Moore, and Marlon Funaki. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Billy and Kip live.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you don't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, bet $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here, and the only question remaining is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Paul. Paul with a capital P. Download your FanDuel app today and get started. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Second down in the full 10 off their own 49. Mints to throw. Going to keep it himself. Looking to roll to the right. Now he will throw at the last second. Barcade's open. Inside the 20. Down the sideline and out of bounds at the 10.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I already told you earlier this hour, but the key word for our Sin City Skateaway that is good until 5 is Sky, S-K-Y. If you want to win the Sin City Skateaway and you want your entry for this hour, you have 15 minutes to text SKY to 919-860-5326. We'll have a new keyword for you next hour. And download our app, 99.9 The Fan, available today in the Google Play and App Store.
This will kind of lead into feedback frenzy, but
should we just go into feedback frenzy?
Yeah, we actually
All right, let's do it.
it.
It's time for a feedback frenzy.
Our first feedback actually comes from our YouTube live chat. Actually, just before our commercial break was from MJ Tooney. Says, what all is included in the Sin City Skateaway?
Oh, I am glad you asked. Included in the Sin City Skateaway, if you win, is a pair of tickets. We're talking hockey here. Is a pair of tickets to see Carolina play Vegas at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas on October 20th. And don't think, oh, that's far. No, we'll get you there. We have a round-trip airfare for 2 as part of the prize. You may say, well, great, now I'm there. Where am I? Oh, no, we'll take care of you. We have a 3-night stay at Park MGM Resort and Casino. Okay, now that I'm there, what am I going to? Oh, we'll take care of you. You get to eat because we're giving you a $400 food credit as well. That is the Sin City Skateaway prize. And again, to get your entry for this hour, you have now 13 minutes to text SKY to 919-860-5326. What else you got for us, Dennis?
All right, speaking of hockey, earlier segment, just a little bit ago, we did Copper Drop when I asked you about Seth Jarvis at center potentially. He says he's open to the idea. Rob Brittamore, might be a little bit more hesitant to moving the young man to center, at least on a full-time basis. Our man D. Ely on our YouTube live chat says, how about this? Copper Drop. Andrei Svechnikov and Logan Stankoven, centered by Ryan Suzuki. Copper Drop.
Oh, I feel bad that I laughed at that. I don't think Ryan Suzuki ends up on the big league club. Listen, the Canes have a really strong 12, 13 forwards. They don't necessarily need to look towards their AHL for Ryan Suzuki, not only is he not right now an NHL forward, he's definitely not a top 6.
No. I always say this when it comes to these players, when it comes to prospects and stuff, is that teams around the league have had the opportunity over the last couple of off seasons to sign him, even though he's a restricted free agent. They could have signed him to a minimal contract. Hey, here's $1 million, and the Canes probably wouldn't have matched it. If another team out there really thought he could be even a third-line center or even a fourth-line everyday NHL center, a team would have signed him to that already.
Correct.
Again, what is the league telling you about a player?
So if you want to talk about Stankoven at center, Jarvis at center, is Kokiniemi ready and able to take over and grab firm grasp of the second-line center position? Those are all conversations to have. Throwing Ryan Suzuki in there, it's you're setting me up to be mean to Ryan Suzuki, and I don't want to do that.
All right. This conversation actually is something we had earlier today about our head coach of the Carolina Panthers, Dave Canales.
Let's hear it.
All right, so we talked about, defensive rookies needing to play and things along those lines a little bit more. This one comes from Johnny9. Johnny9 on our YouTube says, so that was supposed to be seen in preseason. He is an offensive coordinator, not a head coach. Talk about young players playing. Basically, he's not being a head coach. And this also goes along the lines with what TW said. He's not a head coach. He's a great therapist.
I don't know. I talk a lot about how being a coach is also, there's a therapist element or a psychologist element to being a head coach. I think that might be where Canales needs the most improvement. Because it's not just being a calm, welcoming. No, sometimes you need to read the room or read the personality and recognize who needs a kick in the pants, right? Sometimes you need to recognize when a win one for the Gipper speech is necessary and when an absolute fire and brimstone locker room sermon is necessary. And I don't get the feeling that he's catching the vibe. Coaching is tough. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here acting like we all could do it. But I'm saying when you're one of 32 head coaches in the NFL, you need to do all of it to be successful because the ones that are good at it are really, really gosh darn good at it. And that's who you're trying to beat. I wouldn't necessarily disagree that everything he's shown me thus far says great coordinator, needs to learn some things to be a head coach. Not to say he can't learn them, but that's the way I get a similar vibe to that right now.
All right, this one comes from our conversation yesterday we had regarding Bryce Young. It simply wasn't good enough. This one comes from Guitar Comet. Guitar Comet, good name. I've been saying it since day one. The hype that accompanied him and the top pick he was chosen as were dashed when I saw him in the first preseason appearance. My initial impression was, oh no. After watching Cam Newton for so many years, it felt like they hired a high school quarterback.
Okay. I'm gonna tell a story of a It was a clip that I just saw. I think it went viral, but I think it's from a while ago. Steph Curry was at a post-game podium or a pre-game podium. I don't know. He was at a press conference. And may have been for the All-Star game. And a reporter said, surprisingly, you've only had 11 All-Star game appearances. And now the question was going to be about LeBron because he had been to, I don't know, like a billion more. And Steph Curry was like, geez, your expectations are a little high, aren't they? Like only 11. If you're comparing every young quarterback you see to what Cam Newton was, you're going to become disappointed about most of them, if not darn near all of them. Cam Newton was a special shot out of a cannon, young quarterback, physically gifted, everything. With that being said, the superpower that we were sold for Bryce Young was processing, right? He was at Alabama and he was a prodigy. Offensive football. He anticipated. He knew where he was going to go with the ball 10 seconds before anybody else did. He was a wizard. Wizard. That hasn't shown up very often. And if the thing that's supposed to make you special doesn't show up, it becomes really tough to overcome that with like increasing your level of play everywhere else. If a quarterback, is supposed to be Lamar Jackson, he's supposed to be a lightning fast running quarterback, and then he comes into the NFL and he's getting caught from behind by defensive linemen, that's a big uh-oh. Bryce Young's quote-unquote, like the equivalent of that was supposed to be his processing power, and we haven't seen it yet. So unless it shows up, it's going to be tough to overcome.
All right, this one comes from John Chapman. John Chapman says on that same video, I think it's time to sit Bryce Young. Why wouldn't they keep Bryce Perkins? Big QB, agile, moves, scrambles, one heck of an arm. Bryce Young isn't cutting it. 3 years of misery for the Panther Nation. Canales is too buddy-buddy with the Panthers players instead of being the coach. Let's move on from Young, get a different QB there, and save our season before it starts to go downhill like the last few years.
I think you're giving a ton of credit to Bryce Perkins.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Bryce Perkins. I covered Bryce Perkins at UVA. I think he's a good depth quarterback, and like a solid third quarterback. Putting it like, what does saving your season look like? You think Bryce Perkins is going to go in there and you're going to be competing for a playoff spot? Like
no,
that's just not how it works.
Hendon Hooker's getting a lot of love right now. I'm just saying.
If he proves. I wouldn't feel bad if Bryce truly the bottom falls out. Like if the wheels are exploded, he's riding on rims, sparks flying. Like if it's truly a lost cause, I wouldn't feel bad about Hendon Hooker getting like 3 starts at the end of the year. But I'm not going to him first half of the season. Here's the thing. By the end of this year, it can't be I'm 95% out on Bryce. By the end of this year, you have to be 100% out on Bryce or 100% in on Bryce. So if you get down to 95, it's like the when you're driving in your car and you don't have any gas. When the empty light comes on, you're not empty yet, right? You still got to ride another about 30 miles before that thing is absolutely empty. If you get to the point where you're so out on Bryce, you're on empty. You got to ride out the last 30 miles. Like, you got to get to the point where you're pushing the gas and it's going nowhere. That way, this upcoming offseason, you're trading him for a conditional 6th, right? You're getting him the heck out of there. You're taking on the cap hit. Like, you're just getting him the heck out. And you're trying to draft your next guy. You're trying to trade for your next guy. You're trying to sign your free agent. You're trying to do whatever it takes to get your quarterback. But you can't leave any kind of door ajar. Either you know it all good or you know it all bad.
All right, last one here real quick. Our guy Micah on our YouTube live chat just wants to know. Copper drop. Canes less than or equal to 1 fight the whole 82-game season for the Carolina Hurricanes. So basically over-under 1.5 fights for the Canes this season.
I'll take the over.
I take the over.
I mean, they play the Caps, right?
Yeah.
1 period against the Caps.
That's true.
I'll get over. Listen, I don't think... the Canes, and I know there's a lot of you that are out there that don't like that they don't have like a true scrapper, right? They don't have the dude with the heavy hands. They understand the code. Like, they know when something happens that somebody's got to go, or they know there are certain things that if a team does to you, you have to be willing to. Like, they're not Just because they don't enjoy or they don't hunt out opportunities doesn't mean they're afraid. It just means they don't hunt out those opportunities. They'll be more than 1.5. Let's not be disrespectful. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. How'd everybody do week 1 in the NFL? Huh? Make some money? Yes? No? Did you answer? All right, cool. Now we can get into the next week's conversation. Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a big old payday. With DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, from first touchdown scores to anytime touchdown props, or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. Here's something that I like to do when you're looking at touchdown scoring props. Take, for example, this Thursday night's game, right? Packers, Commanders. I like to look for somebody that maybe was a bit neglected in week 1 that coaches are going to try to keep happy, right? So if you watch the Washington game, Debo scored, Bill Krosky-Merritt scored. Guess who didn't? Terry McLaurin. Right, the guy that had all the drama. They want to show he's still loved. I bet they work pretty hard to get Terry McLaurin into the end zone. Maybe right at the start of the game. Terry McLaurin plus 1,200 to be the first touchdown scorer. If you want to open up your opportunities a little bit, plus 155 to score anytime for Terry McLaurin. Just something to think about. There's those storylines all over the NFL. Lines and odds, especially those two that I just mentioned, subject to change. New customers, I have something else for you as well. Bet just $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD to get $200 in bonus bets. No spaces, by the way. TIMD, no spaces. To get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. We are entering shortly into the 5 o'clock hour, which means another keyword in the Sin City Skateaway will be coming your way, as well as the starting 5. Stick around.
When you crave the best in college football action, you'll find it on 99.9 The Fan.
The chance to win it for Baylor from 27 yards. Placement down, kick is up, and it's good. Baylor has come back to beat SMU in double overtime. Goss left side of the 10. Goss at the 5. Sprints to the front left corner of the end zone for 6. Davion Goss shot out of a cannon.
College football on The Fan is powered by Wake Men and Preserve Services.
Longer days mean longer rides. Make sure your bike, your ATV, your side-by-side, even your golf cart are the best around. From sound station and security, we've got custom stereo systems, custom speakers, even video and LED lighting options for your bike, your ATV, and even your golf cart. Look the coolest on the road or at the lake, just tooling around. All available with installation from sound station and security, with 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
It's the final shot at the Championship 4. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I travel coast to coast covering hockey. But when I'm back home, I head to my home away from home, Buffalo Brothers, for the best wings on the planet. You can't beat their specials at all 5 of their Triangle locations. Every pro football game day, you can get Miller Lite Draft for $4.50 and Blue Moon Draft for $5.50. Pet-friendly patio too. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings. Advertisements.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Tonight won't be quite as chilly. Lows dip near 60 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. And there could be a couple of quick sprinkles on Wednesday. Otherwise, more clouds in the area. It's mostly cloudy and another cool day with a high of 76.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, up 196 points to 45,711. This hour of the drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call Law Tigers before you call your insurance company at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm excited to get to number 5 in the starting 5. But first, I'm sure there are some of you out there that are waiting patiently, and I want to reward that patience and give you the next keyword in our Sin City Skateaway contest. All week this week, all week next week, from noon to 6, every hour, you can earn an entry into the Sin City Skateaway, where you could win a pair of tickets to see Carolina. We're talking hockey here. A pair of tickets to see Carolina play Vegas at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas on October 20th, plus round-trip airfare for 2 out to Vegas. A 3-night stay at Park MGM Resort and Casino in Vegas, and a $400 food credit to eat while you're in Vegas. Basically, it's the ultimate Vegas hockey trip. Say hockey twice because it's that cool. The only thing you have to do, the only way you can win, is by texting in a keyword. There are hourly new keywords from noon to 6 every weekday, this week and next week. And you have to text it in by the top of the next hour. So the keyword I'm about to give you has to be texted in by 6 o'clock today to earn the entry for the hour. I think I said everything. Oh, brought to you by Park MGM Las Vegas, Atlantic Spas and Billiards, Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, Buffalo Brothers, and Newcomb and Company. Now for the keyword. Dice. D-I-C-E. Text in dice like you roll a pair of dice. Dice. D-I-C-E. Text it in to 919-860-5326 for this hour's entry into the Sin City Skateaway. Texting in DICE right now to 919-860-5326 could be the reason you get a free trip to Vegas. Think about it like that. And not texting in DICE before 6 o'clock, there's a motivation for you. DICE is the keyword for this hour. Text it to 919-860-5326. Now, let's jump to the starting 5, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We have an app, everybody. We're not talking like wings and spinach and artichoke dip. We're not talking appies. We're talking an app like a 99.9 The Fan app for your phone. Download it now. Download it soon. Download it at your earliest convenience, please. A lot of work has been done. A lot of design elements have been whittled down to make it as streamlined, as user-friendly, as easy to process as possible. What we wanted to do, 99.9 The Fan has never had an app. Okay, this is the first time today, earlier in today's show, was the first time somebody on 99.9 The Fan could say, go download our app, 99.9 The Fan. And we did that. So it's brand new. The goal was to make your life easier. We want you to be able to Oh, you know what? I like that podcast from 99.9 The Fan. Kane's Corner, Pack Therapy, Panthers Playbook, whatever it is. Oh, you know what? I also like listening to the live stream when I'm away from my radio. Oh, you know what? I also like the newsletter that 99.9 The Fan sets out. You know what? I also like the articles written by 99.9 The Fan. I also like the archives. I also like going back into the YouTube. I also like knowing everything going on in Duke basketball or state football or Canes hockey, whatever the teams are that matter to the Triangle. And you no longer have to go to a bunch of different places. You don't have to go to this website to read the articles, this website to watch the old YouTube videos, this thing on your app to listen to the stream. No, it's all condensed, super user-friendly, 99.9 The Fan app. You can find it in the Google Play Store. Search 99.9 The Fan if you're on an Android. You can also find it in the App Store if you're on an iPhone. Now, this is brand spanking new. Okay, like entered into the App Store hours ago.
Paint's still wet.
So if you have to scroll down a couple down after you search for it, you won't have to do that forever as more people download, but for right now you might have to scroll like 2 or 3 links down. Don't panic if it's not the first one. If you want it even easier than that, you can head to any of our social medias. There are links in the bios that you can click on. There's explanations and how-tos posted from all of our social medias, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, I believe you put it in our YouTube comments.
Yes.
So if you go to our YouTube live stream, you can jump in the comments. It's right there. Once you download it, first of all, in the App Store or Google Play Store, please rate it 5-star, leave positive reviews. That can help us get the search engine optimization stuff cranking. But also, register, right? When you download the app, make the little profile, put in your name, your birthday, whatever little information it asks. Prove you're not a robot. And then there will be opportunities in the very near future and in the long-term distant future to win stuff, right? We're going to do giveaways, app-only giveaways. You're going to have to be registered in order to win those things. And I can tell you, I've heard some of the prizes. I'm not allowed to tell you yet. It's embargoed information. But you're going to want to be registered. You're going to want to be on the app. I can promise you that. If you're a Triangle sports fan, you are going to want to be on the app. So 99.9 The Fan app, search for it, download it, keep it on your phone. If you've had problems with our streams in the past, this is our response. This is how we're making it better. This is me saying, I heard all of those people in my Twitter DMs telling me that there was something messed up with the app. Something messed up, not even the app, with the stream. Or where can I find this? We heard you. We put a lot of work in behind the scenes. Shout out to Ashley, our social media manager, Paul, our program director, Joe, so many people, so many, for putting together an awesome app. I hope you like it. If there's any bugs that you find, let us know. Please not in the reviews. Just Twitter DM, something private. We'll answer. We'll get it fixed. If you have compliments, put those public, right? Go on the reviews. Make sure everybody knows those. Dennis, anything to add? Anything I'm missing?
No. Oh, actually, on the app, we actually will have exclusive contests on the app as well.
You can win
be
stuff.
Giving away some cool stuff. Stuff that's in the works, for real.
Yeah, serious stuff. All right, that's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
So NFL Week 1, Dunzo. Books. Wrap it up. How about a little JJ McCarthy coming out party last night, Monday Night Football? There's something to be said for, I don't know, that guy just wins. Because let's be real, the early parts of that game for Minnesota were not pretty. They were not pretty. And then suddenly, in winning time, they figured it out. And drove down, bunch of touchdowns, fourth quarter touchdowns, enough to win. They were aided by some mismanagement, some mistakes, some things going on from Chicago. But, if you go back and look at J.J. McCarthy's history, the guy wins a lot. Now, you have to put a great team around him. I'm a big fan of Kevin O'Connell, the head coach of Minnesota. Obviously, Justin Jefferson and a few others are really good players. But, they might have got a live one there. If he can eliminate the first half and just play like the second half, he could be really good. Also, Ben Johnson with the Bears. Some interesting stuff with Caleb Williams, who, by the way, I'm always going to track just because of the Bryce Young trade. I'm still not. Maybe you have a better grasp on it, Dennis. I usually am pretty, opinionated on quarterbacks. I like that guy. There's things that guy does that I don't like. He's one I believe in. He's one. I have no idea what to make of Caleb Williams.
Yeah. I think he's kind of similar situation of Bryce Young's rookie year last year because head coach gets fired in the middle of the year and then all of a sudden Thomas Brown is the offensive coordinator. Ironically, just like Bryce Young. But and he has a first-year head coach who's an offensive coordinator. I thought physically he looked better. Like he actually felt a little bit more in control in the pocket, but he has all the physical gifts. It's all about can he mentally put everything together. To me, that's what I see.
It's like he misses the obvious and then makes the spectacular.
Yeah.
DJ Moore was wide open running down the left sideline. Should have been a walk-in touchdown, and he airmailed it by 15 yards. And then he's sprinting to his right on the sideline and somehow throws a 120-mile-an-hour heater on the money. And it's like, same quarterback, huh? Elsewhere in the NFL, Tank Bigsby was traded from the Panthers. May have something to do with this. The Panthers made Travis Etienne look so good that Jacksonville was like, we don't need a backup running back.
Actually, nah.
We're good with the rookie Tootin behind Etienne. We don't need Bigsby. Did you see how good Etienne was? Might have just been the Panthers couldn't tackle.
That's small.
But Bigsby traded to the Eagles, where he'll, I was assuming, be Saquon's kind of primary backup. They traded a 5th and a 6th for him. Side note, and this will be the last kind of newsy thing about this talk, about this trade. Reports are they were very interested in Bigsby as a kick returner. And with the new kick return rules based on the landing zone and where balls come out to if they're touchbacks and everything, where they're spotted after touchbacks, I believe there were more returns in week 1 than any season in the last 15.
I believe it.
So teams might start putting a little bit more emphasis in, you know what, one of our running backs or somebody has to be a kick returner, right? That kind of got away for a long time, right? Most of my childhood watching football, there were the Josh Cribbs, there were the Dante Halls, there were the Devin Hesters, where it was we try to find a role for him somewhere else on the team. But if he's just a great kick returner, punt returner, you can make a roster with that. And then it got away from it because everyone was it was touchbacks and it was fair catches, and who cares? Maybe guys are going to start being traded for because they're great returners. Or what is this, 1997? What are we doing here?
I'm fine with it. Speaking of the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Carter was suspended for a game for spitting in the face or spitting on Dak Prescott in the season opener back on Thursday of last week. But because that happened at the very beginning of the game and he missed the entire game, his 1-game suspension was basically served in game 1. So he won't miss any more additional games. But he will be fined a bunch of money, though.
It is, obviously, dummy move to do it, just real stupid. Probably a fair punishment. Getting ejected before the first play from scrimmage and getting ejected in, the 3rd quarter should not be treated the same. Right, you miss more time. But yes, 100% dummy move. That's number 4. Let's hit number 3.
Florida looking to get it out. Forsling bounce it. Now it comes out in front. Holding shoot. He scores! Seth Jarvis with the turnover. And Carolina has tied it at 3.
We are less than 2 weeks away from preseason hockey for the Carolina Hurricanes. And Matt Larkin, managing editor and senior writer at Daily Faceoff, tweeted earlier today, good update for Canes fans from Seth Jarvis regarding his shoulder. Rehab has gone great. Here's the quote from Jarvis. I can rip out some push-ups right now if you want. Close quote. Jarvis also said he'd be open to Rod Brindamore trying him at center again. That from Matt Larkin. This is great news. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The shoulder thing, I don't even know what to call it. Injury, but just like ongoing for Seth Jarvis, it's gonna be a conversation point, right? The hope, and like most, I believe, I don't pretend to be a doctor, but I believe most trainers and doctors, if you can solve an injury, if you can cure it, that's probably the wrong word, heal an injury without surgery, they tend to lean that way. So if he can come back 100% with no, long-term effects without going under the knife, that's probably better. And a super healthy, ready-to-roll Jarvis, that's an intriguing deal for me because he's been really good the last 2 years, right? 30-30 and all these things with perhaps a nagging injury kind of being dealt with throughout the entire time. So, obviously we don't know how healthy and all that, and we're going to just watch him play and, make our own decisions. I would be very interested in seeing what a 100% healthy Seth Jarvis over an entire season, what that production would look like. And maybe 100% healthy over an entire season is an unfair expectation in the NHL, but you know what I mean, right? Like, no one's 100% in the third month. I get that. But, like, no major things that he's dealing with, I want to see it because I think his production could go through the roof.
Yeah, you got to think last year he still had 67 points and he missed 9 games or so. 8-9 games. It's 100% reasonable to expect him to be a 70-plus point guy if he stays healthy for a full year.
Just to get into the rhythm of pre-NHL season talk, Dennis, give us his line mates. Who are you skating him with? Game 1.
Oh, game 1, it's Aho at center and Nikolai Ehlers on the other side.
So he's up top line.
Easily.
Not playing center?
No. Not to start the year, no.
Let's start those arguments. No,
it is 100%.
I agree.
Yeah.
But the center stuff is going to be talked about. It's going to be talked about. Now he's saying he's willing. Maybe that's a hint. Who knows? That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us. Knippel's got it. Malawach behind the defense to say goodnight. A punch to build the lead back to 10. 71-61. 50 seconds to go.
ACC basketball revealed their schedule today. The whole kit and caboodle, the big Monday matchups, homes, aways, everything. That came out. It actually was revealed since our show went on air. So Dennis has taken some time to pull out some highlights. I don't know where we're going with this. I'm excited to learn with the rest of you. Dennis, what did you learn about the ACC basketball schedule?
So the way the schedule works this year is that you have that protected rivalry game where you play the home and home against that same team.
The only team you play twice in conference.
Yes. So that's it every single year. So it's Duke versus Carolina, NC State, Wake Forest. That is protected every year going forward until they decide to change it. But that's the protected rivalry going forward. They also had what they call trying to find remember the term that they use. The term that they use is the variable partner for the upcoming season, where you still play one more conference game, home and away, against someone else.
And that can change year to year.
That will change year to year. North Carolina, they play Syracuse twice this year. NC State plays Virginia twice this year. Duke plays Louisville twice this year. So that's the way things at the ACC decided to shake things out. So there's one team in conference that you won't play this season. The team NC State does not play this year is Cal. They don't have to go out west. Stanford actually comes to Raleigh the very last game of the season, March 7th. So that's just before the ACC tournament. My guess is if Stanford's in the ACC tournament, they'll just stay here in the state of North Carolina because the ACC tournament's in Charlotte the following week. So NC State doesn't have to go out west to either Cal or Stanford. They don't play Cal this upcoming season. Duke does have to travel out west to Cal and Stanford, but they do not have Miami on their schedule. So Duke does not play Miami this year. And then North Carolina also has to go out west to play Stanford and Cal, but they don't have Boston College on their schedule this upcoming season as well.
So, just to be clear here, one of Duke's top assistants took the head coaching job at Miami. And then a 1 in 18 chance they don't have to play Miami this year just so happened to come true? Things that make you say, Also, the secondary rivalry, I always say, In the ACC, I think of UNC and Syracuse. That's what I always think of.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
make sure we play that one twice. Not UNC and NC State, who have a fierce rivalry and talk about quite a bit. So State doesn't have to go to the Dean Dome, right?
NC State this season does. Let me go check here just real fast. NC State is home against Duke on May 2nd, so they don't go to the Dean Dome
Cameron
this year.
Well, you just Duke or UNC?
I'm sorry, I take that back. They are home against Duke. They are home against Carolina on the 17th and 18th. So they actually get
NC
Carolina.
State doesn't go to Cameron or the Dean Dome.
No. State gets both of those at home this year.
All right. You know what I was thinking? This is side conversation, but I need to get more interesting hobbies because I was thinking about how I would schedule the ACC basketball
You do need
season
some hobbies,
while
Tim.
I was driving home the other day.
You need some hobbies.
Instead of like divisions like East and West or something like that, I think you should have old and new. Like the 8 old or 9, whatever it comes out to be, originalist ACC teams could be in a division, and then the 8 others, and then you just pretty much get together for like the end of season stuff, because then you get all the games you want twice. I don't know, just it upsets me. And by the way, the schedule, sure, like the stuff we learned today, the stuff you read, it's good for what the structure is going to be, like how they've had, like what the rules are, solid. But not getting State and UNC twice, NC State not going to Duke or UNC,
yeah,
like it feels
wrong.
It feels incomplete.
Feels wrong. By the way, ESPN also announced their Big Monday schedule, which starts at the end of January. So basically, when NFL season kind of wraps up, it features the Triangle schools heavily, and a lot of ACC. So Louisville at Duke, that's one of the first Big Monday games on ESPN. Also Syracuse at North Carolina, NC State at Louisville, Syracuse at Duke, Louisville at North Carolina, Duke at NC State. All those games are going to be featured on Big Monday on ESPN. So Duke multiple times, NC State multiple times, North Carolina multiple times. Featured heavily on ESPN. You're going to see a lot of triangle matchups.
ESPN knows where the epicenter of college basketball is.
Yeah.
It's where we sit. It's the triangle. It's the state of North Carolina. The Mecca. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one!
Panthers right now. Tuesday, 5:24 p.m. Better be somewhere working on fixing so many of the things we saw on Sunday. I was only half joking earlier, right? Tank Bigsby was traded, and I believe part of that was because of how good Travis Etienne looked against the Carolina Panthers. That run defense. Derek Brown was back, right? They most of their guys were healthy, and they got run over by a team that is not necessarily known for their running game. The offense, right? They're the turnovers by Bryce Young, but also the thing that I thought they could depend on the most was not nearly effective enough, right? That the running game with Chuba Hubbard wasn't the metronome of consistency that it needs to be in order to let the passing game play off of it, right? Like there's no doubt in my mind that the way that team is designed, the way their money is spent, they want to run the ball and then pass off of that. So Tuesday, right? They play on Sunday against Arizona. Guess what Arizona has? Their second-round pick, Will Johnson, was one of the highest-graded players, a exceptional cornerback in his NFL debut. I would not be surprised if he and Tetairoa McMillan are going at it. What was, at least for me, the bright spot of the offense for the Carolina Panthers? Tetairoa McMillan. So if a team, like if I'm playing if I'm a defensive coordinator against Carolina, I'm probably putting my best cover guy on McMillan and probably a safety over the top. And I'm saying somebody else on this offense is going to have to beat us. Somebody else on this offense is going to have to make the big play. Especially if Ike Ekwonu isn't back. Like that's where you're at. The guy's played one game, Tetairoa McMillan, and already I'm saying if they take that away, what else do you do? Better have a counterpunch. And listen, I'm not somebody that like the Tavion Sanders quote-unquote drop down the sideline. He did get two hands on the ball. Would have been a tough catch. The Hunter Renfrow quote-unquote drop when he got absolutely lit up after catching it. Like I'm not somebody that puts that on the receivers. But you can make that play, right? You can. It is possible. Just because I'm not blaming you for not making it doesn't mean it wouldn't be nice. Same thing with the Tetairoa McMillan touchdown, right? He got the one hand kind of on it. The guy was raking his hand back. Would have been an unbelievable catch. Once you get yourself down by a bunch, somebody's going to have to make an unbelievable play in order to get yourself back in the game. I hope it is uncomfortable in the Carolina Panthers facility right now. It's got to be uncomfortable. Shouldn't be comfortable after a loss like that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. And when I say I hope it's uncomfortable in the Carolina Panthers facility, this was an unintentional segue, I mean because they didn't play well and they're watching the film and they're being honest with each other. Not because like their air conditioning broke and it's hot. Tim Donnelly here from Mainer Service Company. That can make it really uncomfortable. If it's hot outside, your air conditioning breaks, it gets stuffy. Or vice versa, right? If it starts to get cooler as football season goes along and your heater's not working, well, you better layer up. You better keep that jacket on. There's a lot of different ways that your house can become uncomfortable. That bathroom, yeah, we don't use that one. The plumbing, the toilet doesn't work. All right, well, it's uncomfortable. I got to walk upstairs. I got to walk to the other side of the house. Oh, yeah, you know what? That outlet doesn't work. Right? The ways that your house becomes uncomfortable or becomes inconvenient, Mainer Service Company can help you out. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, the things we take for granted usually. If they're not working, man, that's annoying. Mainer Service Company will get them working. And they'll do so with community-oriented beliefs, meaning they're out there in a philanthropic way in your community. You see their trucks all over the place. They are servicing the entire triangle, entire Wake County, plus 50 miles in any direction out of Wake County, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if you give them a call. There's a lot of reasons why Mainer Service Company just makes sense for when your house becomes inconvenient. The number to call is 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. You can also visit them online at MainerServices.com, MAYNOR services.com. We need numbers game contestants. I almost forgot. We have so much going on today. We have a new app. We're doing the Sin City Skateaway. I can't forget about the tried and true. We have the numbers game at this time every day. We need 2 contestants. Call in now. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete in the numbers game. And the winner will receive the Lumineers tickets. They're coming to Coastal Credit Union Music Park on September 16th. If you want to win the tickets, got to play. If you're going to play, you got to call in now. 919-860-5326. Numbers game next.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $78 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.76 to 4.98. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
99.9 The Fan, Newcomb and Company, Buffalo Brothers, and Atlantic Spas and Billiards Hot Tub and Sauna Expo want you to see hockey live in Las Vegas. It's our Sin City Skateaway. Listen to The Fan through September 19th. Keywords come your way every hour from noon to 6. Text in the keywords to enter to win a trip for 2 to Las Vegas. We'll fly you to an amazing room at the Park MGM Resort, and we'll hook you up with tickets to the Carolina Vegas game. The Sin City Skateaway, only on 99.9 The Fan.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you could say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's Bo time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. Our contestants for today, Taylor in Durham and Jose in Durham. They'll be battling it out for Lumineers tickets. As always, we'll bring them both onto the show. Ask them both the same question. Dennis will pick his favorite answer. He'll be the judge. That person will get to go first. Taylor in Durham, can you hear me?
I can.
All right. So in honor of today, we revealed our 99.9 The Fan app. The first app we've ever had. Download it to your phones, everybody. Find it Google Play, App Store, everywhere apps can be found. I'm going to use a word pun here. You're out to dinner. You get to pick the restaurant, whatever it is, whatever kind of food. What is the best app? What is the best possible appetizer?
Mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella sticks. Dennis, do you have any follow-up questions?
None.
All right, mozzarella sticks locked in. We go to Jose in Durham. Jose, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, we're going to go with the same question in honor of the revealing of our 99.9 The Fan app. We're going with the pun, and we're saying, what is the best app if you're out to dinner? We're talking appetizers. Best one in the world.
I'm going to go with pretzel bites.
Say that again. You broke up a little bit.
Pretzel bites.
Oh, pretzel bites. Okay. Pretzel bites locked in. Dennis, any follow-ups?
Any particular kind of mustard you have with these pretzel bites?
Love some of that beard mustard, right?
All right.
Okay.
Little beer cheese action, I think is what he's going for. All right. So, Dennis, you have the options of the best appetizer being mozzarella sticks or pretzel bites.
Oh, both fantastic choices, by the way. I would 100% go with both of these. That's a real tough one. The pretzel bites can be a little filling, though.
Oh, interesting. You're worried about dinner. You're worried about dinner. You are
filling.
losing weight. Look at you.
I know, really is. Don't worry. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But I absolutely love mozzarella sticks. My girlfriend can tell you that as well. I absolutely love mozzarella sticks. I'm going to go Taylor and Durham on this one. But Jose, good answer, though. Like, both great choices.
All right.
By the way.
Taylor and Durham gets to go first. Jose, don't worry. You'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a second. Taylor, are you ready to pick your category?
Yes.
All right, the categories are NFL geographical names, so their names have something to do with a place, a location, something like that. NFL, just like Eminem, they are Michigan-born, players born in Michigan. NBA, players with weird nicknames, or NHL, Hurricanes only?
Do NFL Michigan.
All right, these are all players born in Michigan. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Jerome Bettis, Pittsburgh Steelers.
35.
Incorrect. Devin Funchess, Carolina Panthers.
19.
Incorrect. Jerome Bettis, Pittsburgh Steelers.
38.
Incorrect. Devin Funchess, Carolina Panthers.
Pass.
Donovan Peoples-Jones, Cleveland Browns.
9.
Incorrect. Jerome Bettis, Pittsburgh Steelers.
31.
Incorrect. Devin Funchess, Carolina Panthers.
11.
Incorrect. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Cleveland Browns.
12.
Incorrect. Jerome Bettis, Pittsburgh Steelers.
30.
Incorrect. Devin Funchess, Carolina Panthers. You know what? You were closer than you thought you were. Jerome Bettis, Steelers, 36. You went 35 out the gate and then just bounced around the 30s and never quite hit it. Devin Funchess, 17. You did guess 11. 17. Kind of looks the same, but then here's the kicker. Donovan Peoples-Jones with the Browns, we were looking for 11, and you guessed 11 for Funchess, and then when we went to Peoples-Jones, you guessed 12. So you were in the mix. You felt discouraged. Like that's the vibe I was getting, but you were in the mix. Go ahead.
At least I was close on the over.
You were close, and a tie goes to whoever goes first, so you still have a chance. So stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up. That brings us to Jose in Durham. Jose, are you there?
Still here.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players with geographical names, NBA players with weird nicknames, or NHL Hurricanes only.
I'm going to go with NFL players with geographical names.
All right. All these players have something to do with geography. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
Let's go.
All right. You need at least one for the win, and your time will start when you hear the horn. Joe Montana, San Francisco 49ers.
16.
Correct. Dallas Clark, Indianapolis Colts.
44.
Say it again. Oh, there you go. Curtis Conway, Chicago Bears.
80.
Correct. Bradley Bozeman, Los Angeles Chargers.
Pass.
Noshawn Moreno, Denver Broncos.
22.
Incorrect. Bradley Bozeman, Los Angeles Chargers.
18.
Incorrect. Noshawn Moreno, Denver Broncos.
29.
Incorrect. Bradley Bozeman. You're the winner. Congrats.
Let's go.
You got 3. You got Montana. You got Dallas Clark. You got Conway. Bradley Bozeman, we were looking for 75, although he did wear 56 when he was a Carolina Panther. And Moreno with the Broncos, 27 was the number. But 3 is plenty for the win, so you got some Lumineers tickets coming your way.
Hey, let's go.
There you go. Stay on the line. Dennis will get the info he needs to make sure you get your prize.
By the way, if anyone wants to know Noshawn Moreno, there's the Moreno Valley, which is in California.
Okay.
Bradley Bozeman, Montana. Curtis Conway, South Carolina. Dallas Clark, obviously Dallas. And then Joe Montana, the state of Montana.
I'm sure there's also a town named Joe somewhere.
There might be. I don't know.
I don't know.
A town called Curtis?
There's definitely a town called Curtis. Also, people named Curtis. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. He knows to stay on the line, right? Because Dennis right now is going to tell all of you something.
I do, real quick. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. For anyone that's out there struggling with weight or anything along those lines, maybe you should get a little bit older. Things just aren't your body isn't reacting the way that it used to in terms of the exercise and the dieting and all that kind of stuff. Well, you might need just a restart of your metabolism. That's what I needed, and thanks to the fine folks over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center, in just over 5 weeks, I'm down 30 pounds. It's a real number. I'm down 30 pounds already thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And the thing about Raleigh Weight Loss Center is there are no shots, no injections, so none of the side effects or things along those lines. And their goal is to not just reach that target weight that you want to hit, but maintaining that target weight as well. So it's not just getting you there, it's keeping you there. That's the goal at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. It can be super frustrating when you feel like you're doing all the right things with exercise and diet and then nothing seems to change. I know, I've been there, but trust me, Raleigh Weight Loss Center, give them a call at 919-897-7506. Schedule that free consultation and see what they have to say. See what they can figure out the best plan for you. Again, 919-897-7506 is the number to call, or just check them out online, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. It's a free consultation. Nothing free is ever going to hurt you, folks. RaleighWeightLossCenter.com, 919-897-7506. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Download our new app, 99.9 The Fan, available Google Play and App Store. Brand new as of today. Streams, YouTube videos, articles, blogs, podcasts. It's all there. Super simple. 99.9 The Fan app. Search for it. Download it. Rate it 5 stars. And do so quickly because it's a short week, at least for NC State and Wake Forest. They play Thursday. We look ahead next.
Finally.
Yes, finally. There's an app for 99.9 The Fan.
Finally!
Listen to your favorite hosts, your teams, and live sports action.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! They are destroying the Chiefs!
And every podcast episode at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Son, do you know what time it is?
Your father and I were waiting all night for you to come home.
I'm sorry. So we could tell you that you're eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union. Wait, what?
Since your dad's a veteran, our whole family can join and get exclusive savings, discounts, and award-winning service.
Thank you. Now go to your room and think about what we said.
All veterans and their families are eligible. Join today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Is your whole home operating at peak performance? With Newcomb & Company, your independent Trane dealer, proudly serving our community for over 70 years. As a Comfort contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs, including repairs and replacements for faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company. Your comfort is our business.
Is going to your local bar the worst part of your day? The bartender ignores you, mediocre food, warm beer? Then why go there? Take 5 minutes and drop in at Sharky's, where they'll give you a free evaluation and you can learn about all the bars that you shouldn't go to. Sharky's has helped thousands find the right bar to hang at. What are you waiting for? Sharky's evaluation could be the cure to the worst part of your day. Change your bar, change your life. Sharky's, 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends September 12th.
See Home Club for details.
This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbook, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There was a lot going on today. Busy Tuesday here on 99.9 The Fan. For the rest of the hour, so until 6 o'clock, you can still text in the current keyword for our Sin City Skateaway. Could win you the trip to Vegas, the room, the tickets to see all the stuff. But you have to text in DICE, D-I-C-E, to 919-860-5326 before 6 o'clock. This is your last chance for the day to earn entries into the Sin City Skateaway. The next chance you have will be in the noon hour tomorrow during the Adam Gold Show. Okay? And then noon to 6 all day tomorrow. It all happens again. We'll have more keywords for you. That's one thing that was going on today and will continue to go on for the rest of the week and next week. Amount of bells and whistles, right? We don't have amount of bells and whistles, right? We don't have bells going off for no reason. Which sometimes, we've all downloaded the app and there's 900 tabs and it's all these other things. We didn't do that. We wanted to keep it, I think perfect for sports fans, which is like, where's the team I care about? Where's the content about that team? Like, that's what we did. Should be super easy to follow. Where's the show I like? How do I listen to it? How do I watch it? Like, we answered those questions as simply as possible with the app. It was a great job done by a bunch of people behind the scenes here. Shout out to Brian, our big boss. I passed him in the hallway, and I was like, oh, yeah. There's a lot of people making it happen, but also you're the one that kind of approved it all. So shout out to him for making it happen. As I said earlier, I think it's kind of our way of thanking all of you for consuming the content. We want to make it easier for you to do so. And I have to imagine that if you were tracking all of our content down at kind of the many different ways you had to find it before, this will just make your job easier. Dennis, did you download it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Actually, one of the cool things that we'll have on the app, we'll have exclusive contests on the app as well, giving away some cool stuff. But like you said, you can just sort by team. If you just want NC State content, boom, NC State content there for you. Panthers, Canes, it's all going to be right there. Super easy. Actually, you've had a lot of people message us, either on a YouTube live stream or just on social media, say, wow, this is really easy to use. Which is, again, like you said, the goal was to make it easy for listeners to follow us and find the content. You can literally take it with you anywhere.
I've said this a few times. I'll say it one more time just because I want to be fair to everybody. Download the app, register. What Dennis brought up about the app-only contests is true. We have not, meaning I have not, gotten the okay to tell you what some of the prizes are going to be. But I feel comfortable being allowed to tell you you're going to want the prizes.
Yeah.
It's another one of those things where I'm upset that I'm not eligible. So download, register, put your name, your birthday, prove you're not a robot, right? Do all the things you need to do to register, and that way you'll be set up for when the really cool prizes start coming through. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is a Tuesday. Now, normally on the show, just the way I kind of think about it to pull back the curtain a little bit, Wednesday, is kind of at like 5 o'clock on Wednesday is where I kind of put a bow on the previous week if weekend action took place and start looking towards the next upcoming weekend, right? Football's kind of once a week on weekends things. Basketball and hockey, obviously, games throughout the week change that off. But when there's a Thursday game, you got to bump everything up. NC State versus Wake Forest is on Thursday of this week. So, they're in game mode, right? Tomorrow's a walkthrough for them. They're already getting ready for a game. So I thought we could do a little bit of a look ahead here. And anytime we talk about around the office, which again, I need to get some hobbies. When we're around the office, you might think like, what do they say? Like, if you work at a coffee shop, when you get home, you probably want like a glass of ice water. You don't want more coffee. You've been around it all day. You would think that we all come down to this studio and talk nothing but sports for 3 hours, that when we go over to the cubicles in the morning, maybe we'd talk about the weather. No, we talk about the same things we're going to talk about. And anytime this State Wake Forest game pops up, the same thing comes up, right? Maybe a few side conversations. Oh, CJ Bailey this. Oh, Robbie Ashford is fast. Like we do all that kind of stuff. But a lot of it comes down to State's run defense just kind of got run over by UVA, right? Taylor, their running back, the NC Central transfer, had a couple explosives. And now they're going to go up against Damon Claiborne of Wake Forest. Damon Claiborne, who we've highlighted a bunch of times as a key member of Wake Forest, is one of the fastest running backs in the country, a guy that could have hit the portal and gone anywhere for a bunch of money, but he's stuck loyal to Wake Forest, even in the aftermath of a coaching change. And he had 10 carries for 193 yards and 3 touchdowns last week, albeit against a lower division opponent. But I say all of that to say this. State has to make sure Wake Forest can't put Damon Claiborne in the same situations that Taylor was able to find himself in for UVA. Right? It's not a deal of we have to, if you're thinking of from a defensive perspective, we have to, tackle better once we get there. Damon Claiborne's going to be a tough guy to catch. He's fast. He runs through tackles. It's prior to that, right? You can't let him get the full head of steam that you let Taylor get. You can't let the offensive line move you around like UVA was moving you around. You can't let your linebackers get out of position like they did against UVA because Claiborne will take advantage of that. Right? It's don't treat the symptom, treat the cause. Right? Taylor got himself to the second level enough times that he broke some big ones. If Damon Claiborne is getting to the second level as often, he'll break more. Right? And it's, I think it's rare that it's so, like a key to the game is so obvious. Right? Usually keys to the game are hidden. They're mysteries. You don't know what the coach is looking at. There's no doubt in my mind in a short week especially, the NC State defensive coaching staff has been preaching gap integrity, preaching stay in position, preaching if you're an interior defensive lineman, you have to gobble up blocks, and if you're a linebacker, you have to be where you're supposed to be, and you have to make those tackles. Because if not, you get yourself into a little bit of trouble. And a little bit of trouble against a good running back becomes a lot of bit of trouble. And that's a tale as old as time. And then once you bottle up Damon, if you can, be prepared for Robbie Ashford because, as I said, he's got speed. He's an athlete at quarterback, and Chandler Morris gashed you a few times against UVA. So it's the run defense, coming and going. You got to stay assignment responsible. And then for Wake Forest, C.J. Bailey and Hollywood Smothers are no slouch in that respect as well. If Hollywood Smothers gets going into the second level, he'll beat you. And if you sell out too much or you get out of position chasing him down, then guess what? This season already. So I think there's a good possibility whoever bottles up the other team's running offense ends up being the big winner. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly for DraftKings Sportsbook. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling. Got rolling quick, too. And every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props, or the thrill of a live in-game betting experience. Every snap is loaded with opportunities. Looking at Thursday's game, you have Washington, Green Bay. How crazy do we want to get? Do we want to throw 7th-round rookie Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, a.k.a. Bill Krosky-Merritt, as a first touchdown scorer? Plus 1,200? Or how about this? I mentioned it yesterday. There were 6 players with 2 rushing touchdowns in week 1. 4 of them were quarterbacks. So yesterday I said you might want to bet on a rushing touchdown from a quarterback. And then what happened? J.J. McCarthy, rushing touchdown. Prior to that, Caleb Williams, rushing touchdown. Quarterback rushing touchdowns. It's all the rage. Well, Jaden Daniels, that one's pretty well known, right? He's plus 175 to score a rushing touchdown. But what about Jordan Love for Green Bay? Plus 500. These are all options that you can choose at DraftKings Sportsbook for the Thursday Nighter. New customers, oh, by the way, lines and odds are subject to change, so if you want those odds, move quickly. New customers, I got something else for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly, plus score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD, that's code TIMD, with no spaces to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet, plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday ticket. Terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday ticket/terms. Limited time offer. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, coming to a close. Please subscribe to our YouTube and download our app, 99.9 The Fan, and stick around for Overdrive. We're talking Panthers coming up to start Overdrive. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and as the Carolina Hurricanes shoot for their 8th consecutive playoff appearance, that's right, 8 in a row, that's not the goal, I should remind you. The goal is being, as Rod Brindamore likes to say, the last team standing. What do they need? Who will get them there? You know where you can find the answers on every episode of the Canes Corner podcast, live on YouTube after games, and wherever you get your podcast. Rate, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.